Hello, my beautiful people. Thank you for joining me. My supervisor or my CEO or whatever you want to call city is right on top of me. So I have to behave today. I do apologize, but I've been running around like crazy at the farm. It's the rainy season. So there's so many things I had to do. And so many, Letitia, I can hear you. And so so many things that are going on. Oh, Manuel is here. What? So we're gonna have a chat today because I think there's so much going on in the world right now. That city. There is so much going on in the world right now, and I want to say my prayers go to everybody right now because it's really terrible what's happening. Can you guys hear me, please? And I want you all to say a prayer for all the victims that are happening because the people who are dying are always the innocent ones, not the generals, not everybody, not the stupid city, not the stupid, and it's somebody's child, somebody's yeah. So Del Plumber, you can't hear me? Well, adjust your volume because everybody can hear me. So wait, can you hear me better now? So let's say a prayer because there's terrible stuff going on around the world. And then God, bloody hell, city. Okay, come. There's a lot of things going on around the world. And I'm sorry if you see City. She's very needy today because I took her to the vet and she's angry with me. So yeah. So I hope that people can please let's say a prayer to everybody um, in Iran and anywhere in the world that because we're living in very serious times right now. And I know that the topics that we're going to talk about sound dumb maybe, but it's actually part of also a major impact on how the culture has gotten so rotten that things are acceptable. Okay, so I have a great panel today for you guys, and I'm going to bring them all in right now. So here you have, hi guys, how are you?
Hello. How
Hello.
are you? Hi.
Hello.
I
Hi.
want to echo what you just said, Paula. Prayers to everybody around the world.
Yes, Manuela, my heart is with you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You look in the dark though, sweetie. Can you have some better lighting?
I'm trying to get better lighting. I'm actually see I could do this. Does that make it better lighting?
Yeah, it's okay. It's
Or
okay.
maybe I can flip around.
Yes,
Better?
Go in
yes, of
front of the
course.
light.
Yes. Yeah, no,
Okay.
my heart goes out to people who are really, especially mothers and fathers who are losing sons and daughters to this senseless, stupid war. People caught in Iran, and even the
Yeah.
people in Israel who are not allowed to leave because they're being
Right.
used as human shields. Because there's no legal reason why the Jewish people in Israel should not be allowed to leave if they want to, especially if their lives are in danger. The only reason why they wouldn't allow them to leave is because they want to use them as human shields. How dare you attack us? You're killing our civilians. Siri is the Dachshund. I think that you pronounce her sausage dog, but she's my boss. She's not. I don't like to call her like what she's my furry baby, and oh, she's so soft because she was washed and stuff. Royce, because I love you. You got my eyes. So yes, guys. So today I thought we talk about quite a lot of things because there's been so much storm, and I want to hear you guys your opinions about a few things. Um, because to me, I see people saying, "Oh, there's Meghan Markle fatigue and stuff like that." And from my point of view, because I have a unique experience, I don't consider myself part of the Mexican community. So I want to establish this right off the bat. Okay. Um, and those of you who are new, you probably don't know there was lives made about me trying to discredit me by many of the Mexiteers. My point of view is that the fatigue comes in other people in what they consider themselves the Mexican community attacking other YouTubers for whatever reason, you know? And it's like, and it creates division. And it's like, and people don't know what to believe. So people get fed up because this YouTuber, in my channel, I don't believe I ever have come on my channel and said, "Oh, this YouTuber is lying because of this and that." I have never done that in my channel. What I do in my channel, as when I started this channel, is like I was reading things, and I've always said this to you. I was reading things, and I'm like, "What? What do you mean Meghan Markle is black? What, like, why does she only have one person at her wedding? Why aren't people questioning this? Why is this happening? Why, like, and you don't get the answers, and then you get gaslit, which is a feeling that is worse, you know? And so I started my channel because I wanted answers to the questions I had. And then, to my surprise, I'm still always surprised that people want to hear me, right? Other people had the same questions. Because when something is not right, and you want to find out, what the hell, am I the only one? Am I going crazy? Am I there's this channel called Am I the Asshole? I don't know if you guys have you guys seen that channel, guys?
I
No.
love that one.
But now I will. That
Well, you
sounds
should watch
great.
it. Is this girl
Yeah.
that's like, am I the asshole? Because basically it's people who send her, City, you're too fat, you have to lose 6 pounds. Because they go, am I the asshole? And she gets some situations of people, and some of them are really tricky. Some of them are like, my sister was found sleeping with my husband. Am I the asshole for asking them to leave? And it's like, and then they give it's a very good channel. So, and that's how I felt. Am I the only one? And I started watching Yankee Wally. I was in Norway going through a trial. I was watching Yankee Wally, and I was seeing how she was exposing things. And I'm like, ooh, I'm not the only one. And when you're going through a trial for your life, you don't sleep very well. So
Right.
to me, Yankee Wally was like, you guys have no idea. She was like, oh my God, she's saying, like, Dan Juzon, may she rest in peace, and other people were like that. I apologize. I'm not hogging the spotlight. I just want to say something like that. So Carrie Ann Nisbet, who are you? And I'm gonna announce this, guys. I'm gonna be banning anybody here who comes to insult. And Carrie Ann Nisbet, you're one of them, because I don't know who you're attacking, but nobody comes in my channel, and I'm not gonna allow it anymore. Okay. So, and I noticed a shift. When I started my YouTube, I started it by accident. I actually wasn't talking. I didn't even know I had uploaded my first video. And if you go to my very first video, you'll see that because I'm lying on the couch during COVID talking to myself. And later on, my son says, "Mom, you have followers." And I'm like, "Who? Who's following me?" I'm serious, And then I go back, and I wanted to take them down, but they're there. So that's why I started my channel, guys. And I just don't talk about Meghan Markle. If you're coming to my channel, you'll see that I talk about Obama, Will Smith. I talk with Matt, the Angry Bootneck. We talk about politics. We talk about everything. But to me, Harry and Meghan Markle are a huge symptom. For those of you who are new to the channel, I used to be a diplomat. I used to work in I know you see me right here like this now, because people's life circumstances change. But I was a diplomat. I used to work with royalty. I used to work with extreme VIPs. I was a diplomat myself. I was in charge of security of VIPs. I held diplomatic passports. I know what is involved in all of that. I know the lengths that the royal family or VIP members go to cover up stuff. There's some, and I'm going to give you a few examples here for you to know. And we're going to talk about, because this video of P. Dinah, there's a video I did about Prince Harry overdosing, and I've done a couple. And people are saying that I brainwashed P. Dinah. P. Dinah is a very strong woman. P. Dinah and I disagree on a lot of stuff, guys. And we talk it, and that she's following my lead with my fake news. This is how stupid and dumb people are. And this is a community, and this is where the fatigue comes from. Because people are fed up of all this. There's a group of Mexiteers that they call themselves that if you don't follow one person or their doctrine, because it's a cult, then they attack you. Every guest that has come on my show, pretty much, they immediately try to get that guest, and they tell them never to come back to my show. Okay? And these are very same YouTubers that I helped. So the live that Steph the Altar Nerd with Sue Smith did that morning, I have message I sent Steph the Altar Nerd that day saying hi to her because I thought she was a friend. I helped her. I gave her contacts. Andy from Popcorn Palace, I gave her Samantha Markle's contact. My channel came under extreme hatred because I was the only one promoting Samantha Markle when she was not popular. People were calling me her mouthpiece because at the time I believed her. And listen that I'm using the past tense. So I don't go, I see comments on my channel, people coming and saying, did you hear what so-and-so said? I never answer back because it's not my job. I don't care what other people do in their channels, the information they gather and the information they post. I'm not going to do that to another YouTuber. They're doing their stuff and that's fine. If you go and look at my channel, and I'm going to give you another example. I'm going to say names today. Jen from Real Housewives. She was very nice and kind to me. I gave her inside information that Harry was going to be at Kevin Costner's concert. Remember the first concert? Mm-hmm. And she went and did a live. And she was the only one with that information. And when it came true, because she did it before anybody knew. And then, of course, the very next day, Harry and Meghan are on stage at the Kevin Costner thing. Nobody knew about it, but I did. And I gave her that. And then she did another live follow-up for that. Now she's calling me a pathological liar. You know what I mean? I put them in a group. They got the phone numbers and then they ghosted me. And it goes for pretty much everybody. And the reason why I'm saying this is because I'm fed up. They've gone a step too far and they keep harassing my family. They keep harassing my family members. And that is enough. That is enough. I've had it. So, for example, this video with P. Dinah that her and I did. Well, that's bullshit. That's like, isn't it amazing, guys, that two little YouTubers like P. Dinah and I, because my platform is not that big. It's like 130 something. P. Dinah is also, P. Dinah is, of course, they're decent platform, but we're no means on mainstream media. Yet everybody's talking about this particular video. Isn't that say something?
Well, didn't it really start with Lady C and the other video?
I don't know. I don't watch her. I blocked her, so I don't watch her.
I think that the question started there. Most recently. Restarted, I should say.
I don't know. I don't know. But today I'm going to show you some evidence of certain things. So it's P. Dinah who has sources. The only reason why I did my video first is because P. Dinah was in church. Otherwise, she would have posted it earlier than me.
There you go. Nothing like timing.
I know. And P. Dinah posted because she was the one with the info. And then I reached out to my sources and it was true. When I said that Meghan Markle 3 years ago had opened an Instagram account as Meghan, and I pointed out that Serena Williams, Abigail Spencer, and Kris Jenner were following this account, everybody came at me and called me a fantasist. That it probably was my own account and that I was faking being Serena Williams, Kris Jenner, and stuff like that. Ta-da! When I said that Meghan Markle had been shopping for a book and movie in 2022, I have those videos. You please go watch them. Suddenly, Vanity Fair comes up that Meghan had been shopping for a book and deal and all kinds of things. When I said the maid interview, and this is why a lot of people have fear of coming forward, because you know what? It's not enough the hatred we're facing from the Sussex community. It's also from these people in the Megxit community.
It's from within. It's the stuff that's from within that's worse.
The people get other Mexiteers and they coerce them. If you don't follow this, we're going to attack you. We're going to dox you. We're going to do this to you, blah, 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 blah.
So, Paula, they're coming after you again?
Oh, they haven't stopped.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Do you think they've stopped? Oh, my goodness, Leticia, you're so naive.
Yeah.
They haven't
I
stopped.
thought they had stopped. I did. I didn't know.
No,
we're talking about content creators, right? Content creators?
No. But
I'm
going to show you a couple of things, and I want to hear your reactions because I left a tweet. Let me give you a simple story. We're going to start with something stupid. Today, we're going to start with something stupid. I'm going to share. Let me see which screen is it that I'm going to share first. Because I have a few screens. I'm just gonna start with something very stupid, which were some stories that came out about Meghan Markle hosting an intimate dinner for Brooklyn Beckham, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what the story was, if I remember correctly. And I have the article right here that I'll show you guys. This is a story on the mainstream media. Okay? Meghan Markle had secret, supportive, intimate dinner that they hosted the Beckhams to and bonded over their toxic family.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to go through the 3 stories. I immediately, when I saw this story, I said, this is bullshit. And I posted it on my tweet. I reached out to my source, and my source says that is absolutely not true. Brooklyn Beckham doesn't want to have anything to do with Harry. He's a huge supporter of William and stuff like that. And whatever you may say of the Beckham family, at the end of the day, they may have their disagreements, but they don't turn on each other.
Exactly.
You know? So that's the first story. And I did my post, and I will show it to you because I will come with receipts. So the second story the next day is, let me see if I have it. Harry and Meghan, insider reveals Harry and Meghan, let me see, because I want to go in that order. It is believed that Harry and Meghan hosted, they had a birthday, they had like a get together, right? And apparently the get together that Meghan Markle entertained some VIPs, Brooklyn Beckham crashed the party. That was the story the next day. Correct? The third day, I said, that's bullshit. And I'm going to show you my tweet. I said, that's bullshit. It's the Robins who hosted a dinner party. And I'm going to show you my tweet on the day. It's the Robins who hosted a dinner party. And Brooklyn Beckham was there. And Meghan Markle showed up because they were invited. So I'm going to share with you this. We're starting with something simple. Okay? And then, of course, people understands the dinner was a group gathering hosted at the Montecito home of Meghan and Harry's close friends, Paramount Pictures, Brian Robbins and his wife, Tracy Robbins. As the couple were not personally invited by the Duke, why would Harry and Meghan invite somebody else to somebody else's party? And by the way, when these stories broke, Brooklyn Beckham was in the United Kingdom. And the only reason he didn't go to his father's 50th birthday is because apparently his wife doesn't get along with Romeo's girlfriend.
You know, she invited Serena to that polo match, and she shouldn't have. So is she doing that again? Just inviting people without,
But that was a lie. The whole story was a lie.
Okay.
Meghan just wanted to create division. Meghan wanted to create division because she wanted to. This story came out the very next day that Princess Catherine was seen rocking that beautiful suit made by by Victoria Beckham. And Meghan wanted to create, because why said that they bonded over their toxic families? Which toxic family? The only toxic family is Harry and Meghan.
Exactly.
Okay.
They're the toxicity.
So we have 3 stories, and yet some of the mainstream media and the special reporters are still going with the original story, and they're still calling it like a toxic couple, and that they're still bonding when that's already not the case. I was watching Kingsley Schofield. You know that Kingsley Schofield today, she had to do 2 videos to defend her reputation because it's with a major. Yes.
What happened?
Really?
Yes. Apparently Fox, which is a giant, we're talking mainstream media.
Yeah.
They reached out for comment about something with Tyler Perry, and she sent an email in response. So what they did is they grabbed a few words from her statement and completely spun it around. So she had to come and do, because of course that's her reputation. That's what she makes her living on, being credible.
Being misquoted.
That's just stunning.
Yeah, she did 2 videos. She's there in Fox News. And this is why she was very upset, and I don't blame her.
Yeah.
Get out of context.
Because this is Fox News. You know what
Why
I
is
mean?
she shocked? Yeah, you want sound bites. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be like not
but
empathetic.
You don't expect that. You don't expect
of course that
happens.
happens.
You don't expect that from Fox News. You don't expect that from Fox News, Well, or you
They still
think
are
at
rated.
least,
Fox, like are we speaking the same like Fox News and you're
Yes,
shocked? Okay. All right.
Sensationalism.
Yes.
They want sensationalism. So of course they're going to take it out of context. So they're going to take it any way they can spin it and then go from there. But they're going to sacrifice whoever they want to sacrifice for the story.
Yes, exactly. Now, in regards to the video that P. Dina and I did about Harry ODing, there's been even Substacks that even I believe Thomas Markle Jr. has come out and said, no, that's Meghan. No. And P. Dina and I are going to do a more in-depth thing about it. But I want to show you this, and I want you ladies to comment on this because this is Dan Wooden highlighted P. Dina's thing, right?
Okay.
Video. But the funny thing is he had RNN. He should have had P. Dina, and that said quite a few things that were wrong in that live or in that video. Okay, so I'm gonna let you listen to this, ladies, and I want you to tell me this. Keep in mind, and I'm gonna give you. I will leave the link of this documentary.
Okay.
This documentary dates back to 2002, 2003. But you have these royal experts commenting on this. Okay, so I want you just to pay attention. I'm going to play it for you.
Not far from Highgrove, Prince Charles's Gloucestershire home, are hostelries such as the Vine Tree, and in nearby Shurston, the Rattlebone Inn, scene of some of Harry's wilder exploits. In February 2002, 16-year-old Harry was exposed by a tabloid newspaper for smoking cannabis and underage drinking in pubs close to Highgrove. Harry's illegal escapades were confirmed by Charles's biographer Penny Junor.
I live locally and I have children of the same sort of age as Harry. And it has been known I've known for quite a long time that he has been drinking underage in pubs and drinking a lot and behaving pretty badly.
It doesn't end there. Let me show you another documentary here.
Okay, so he was 16 when he started.
Oh, no. This is when they found out.
Oh.
And this is why Harry hated News of the World. This is why Harry hated News of the World. Because News of the World had tapped their phones. So they actually were getting real stories. You understand that? So all of these royal reporters, royal experts knew about this. And when she said, at the time Harry was 16 or 17 when they posted these news, right? And listen to what Penny Jr. said. She said that they known for years.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. By the way, Harry was banned from that pub because he did something so nasty. Can you imagine that the son of the future king of England gets banned from a shitty little pub in the UK?
How did he get in?
I have a question. What's legal drinking age in the UK?
Exactly.
No, I'm asking. Like, what?
I don't know.
19 here.
In
19 or
in
21,
Canada.
something like that.
I thought that the UK beer and wine, there aren't that many restrictions. Like it's very low.
No, you do. I think it's 19. I think it's 19 because in Canada it's
21.
19 beer and wine. 19, at least when I used to work as a waitress, it was 19 for beer and wine and 21 for her alcohol. But I don't know. I don't know if the rules have changed. I know that my son, who's in Canada right now, he couldn't drink hard alcohol until he was 21, but he was allowed to order beer in Toronto.
Right.
Well, I live in Vancouver, Canada.
Okay.
And it's 19 across the board, 18 if you live in Alberta. Done.
Well, no, for example, let me tell you something. That depends. Because I'll tell you, I lived in Ottawa. And in Ottawa, the bars closed at 1. So I used to go, there's a bridge that
people are saying in the UK it's 18.
Yeah,
18?
In the UK, that's what they're saying.
So how is he able to get into a pub at the age of 16?
Oh, exactly.
Because he's the king's son.
Harry.
I mean, they're going to turn a blind eye, right? That's
wow.
Turning a blind
16
eye.
is so young.
Yeah.
He's like a teenager.
No, but no. When the story broke, it was about 16, 17. Listen to Penny Jr. saying that she'd known for years, which means that he was much younger when he started doing drugs.
Wow.
But here in Vancouver, you can take your kids to certain pubs, not all, and I used to work in the pub, certain pubs that are children friendly, right? For X amount of time, from like till like 9 p.m. and then like get out. But from my understanding, with all my family that's in Wales, you can take your kids to the pub, whatever. You just can't order alcohol. It doesn't matter if they're, but I'm just saying what I've been told. I don't live there. I don't know. I can only say what goes on here in my province.
Yeah, and in Ontario, you can bring children into a bar or a pub as long as they're not at the bar or pub. They can be at a
Exactly.
table,
Yeah, there's like a family side, right?
right? You can be at a table. You can't be at the bar.
Can't be
Well,
at
in
the
the
bar.
in the UK, I used to go with Henrik to the pub when I used to live in the UK. Henrik was like 4 or 5, and it was okay. I mean, I lived in Richmond Hill, and we used to go, and then later on we lived in Hampstead Heath, and I used to take Henrik to the pubs all the time, and it was okay. I would have my, and of course, I wouldn't give him booze. I used to go to Sundays. I love the Sunday pubs. But I'm going to show
But
you
I think
another video. I'm going to show
there's
you
also
another
a
video.
difference between a pub and like how we would consider a bar in the U.S. A bar in the U.S. where all they do is serve alcohol. That's their prime.
No, because in the pub they
intent.
serve really good
That's-
food.
That's
Oh,
exactly
yeah.
what I was going to say. Right. In the UK,
Oh.
whereas it's a pub isn't just a bar. It's a restaurant, really.
It's not a nightclub where you go like, well,
Right,
it
exactly.
does turn into that eventually if you go to a good pub where there's a band and you can go dance.
Right.
But there's food, there's alcohol. It's more of a social
Right.
atmosphere, not like going to just like a dance club. Does that make
But
sense?
I wouldn't want people in the US, if they hear pub, they're going to assume it's kind of like a bar, which is
Restaurant.
where
It's
just
more of a restaurant.
alcohol. Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So, Paula, are you saying that Harry could have been the age of 14 or 13?
He started, it's confirmed because News of the World found out. This is why that newspaper was, if you try to find articles, and the reason why Harry hates News of the World is because News of the World were the ones who were tapping the phone until it was disbanded in the scandal in 2014. This is how they had all that inside info. This is how the Eaton scandal came about. Because
now, isn't this why didn't Charles like essentially build a pub in his house for them?
Yes, which was
so that
called
they
the
could go?
H.
Yeah.
Because but there was a rule that Harry could not be left on his own until, of course, because Charles had to always be present if Harry had friends over, right? And then but then as soon as, of course, as Harry grew, Charles started to be more with Camilla, so he was less present. So the H bar became their whatever, right? So I'm going to show you another thing here. And this is in 2007, while Harry was already in the military. We know from the book Spare, we're using Harry's words, that this man was pretty much using heavy drugs throughout his entire military career and never did a drug test. In fact, he was evacuated the week that they came to do the drug tests. Okay, you guys know that I do my lives with Matt the Angry Bootnik, and he was a Royal Marine. He did 5 tours on behalf of Her Majesty the Queen. Okay, and he never got warned. Okay, I'm gonna say it's a little bit crude, guys, but they would come with a little glass suddenly that like they would be doing their thing. They would just piss. I mean, it's not like they got a week's warning, It's like just pee here, take a piss here,
Wow,
because
they would random. Random test them.
That's the whole point. If you warn somebody, what's the point? Harry was flown in a helicopter because the Queen needed him. Okay, so I'm going to show you another clip here, guys. Okay, so please.
Prince Harry in a bit of trouble. What's he doing now?
Well, pictures have surfaced of him basically snorting vodka.
Oh, that's really cool. / not cool at all. All right, let's have a conversation. First of all, I didn't know you could snort vodka.
Neither did I. Never heard of it.
Yeah. It turns out it shoots straight into your brain and bypasses your liver. What's your thoughts about that? Is that a good idea?
Probably not. It goes through the liver for a reason, right? So if it goes straight to your brain, I think scientists and doctors have said that it could kill you. So
rock and roll, fun for everybody.
This is in 2007.
Wow, is that him?
Yes.
What is he doing?
He's
Snorting
snorting
vodka.
vodka, but they failed to disclose that he mixed it with cocaine.
Oh my God. I've never seen this.
So I can see that you don't watch my videos because I've talked about this in like 4 or 5 videos, Leticia.
That's gotta burn. Listen, man. Like, I don't know who thought that that would be a good idea. There's no way. That's gotta hurt. Like,
But
think
it's
about
mixed
that.
with cocaine. They failed to say that because they're trying to, and this is why
Oh.
Harry hated News of the World. What was their response? This guy should have been dismissed, kicked, or dishonorably discharged from the army, the military UK. So the military UK have known all of this about Harry and they have covered up for him. The only reason why this came out is because of the tapping scandal. Okay. And a lot of stuff came out and they were getting the exclusives in the news and stuff like that. Let's not go even, let's go more recent here. Let's go more recent. Should we go more recent, guys? And this is Harry. This is Harry talking about it. Okay. This is when Harry was with Meghan, claiming to be with Meghan. And by the way, we're going to get into this a little bit because this is where the mainstream media fail us. Okay. Where Harry says the following. The doctor decided it was time to induce labor and Meghan was given a canister of laughing gas to help ease the process. First of all, that is false. This is from Harry's book. The doctors would monitor the medication they give you. It's not, oh, here it is, take it. I'm going to give it, just take the morphine and have it. You administer yourself. That is not done like that.
Of laughing gas during pregnancy.
I've never heard of that. Actually.
Yeah.
I had it.
Laughing gas? Nitric
Yep.
oxide for
Yep,
pregnancy?
and I puked all over a nurse, and then they took it away. So, like, that's
This
the
is
truth.
why. This is why laughing gas is no longer used nor approved for certain things. It's now made, and now it's considered in the UK is a Class C drug.
Oh,
So
wow.
meanwhile, Harry, who had ordered Nando's via his bodyguards, took a hit from the gas meant for his wife. I took several slow penetrating hits, Meg bouncing on a giant purple ball, a proven way of giving nature a push, laughed and rolled her eyes. I took several more hits and now I was bouncing too, Harry reveals. When her contractions began to quicken and deepen, a nurse came and tried to give some laughing gas to Meg. There was none left. The nurse looked at the tank, looked at me, and I could see the thought slowly dawning. Gracious, the husbands had it all. These are grounds for the Portland hospital to be investigated and their medical license to practice as a hospital at least suspended for a few months.
That's right.
Do you know how big those tanks are? They're like 5 feet tall. They're not little at all. Like, I'm 6 feet tall and they at least come to my rib cage. It's big.
You think he's lying?
Of course.
No. Well, no,
You
I
don't think
believe
he's
that.
lying?
I
I think it's
believe.
all
I
made
don't.
up.
You know what? But I'm just going by his words because we have nothing else to go because they
don't know
to
how
this
he's
day
alive.
they haven't presented evidence as to where the child was born. We know that that is a lie. It is medical malpractice for any doctor, hospital, private or NHS, to send a woman who's given birth, a geriatric birth, and according to Harry's, it was a very complicated birth. You know, I guess Amazon delivered the wrong doll to the wrong address. You know?
That can get complicated.
Yeah, it can get complicated. Oh my God, it was the wrong package. So this
I don't know how that works because it wasn't like the nurse gave me the mask to breathe in. She
No, they
held
did.
it. She
Of course.
controlled the
Exactly.
flow or
They
whatever
didn't
you
It's
give
a
want
it-
to say.
controlled substance.
And like I said, it didn't go well for Heather. I'm like, take that away. But I don't like see a nurse. Like a nurse never left me when I was having
That was
like
that's
fully
one of
having
the
the
many
baby. Like the baby's coming. No one left my side.
Heather,
at
that's
all.
one of the many questions that I've asked in many of my videos. Where were the medical staff? Because let's not forget that even though that Harry and Meghan were considered senior royals, and this is going to play an important role in what I'm about to tell you. They were senior royals. Harry and Meghan's wedding cost, let's say por 4.24, say por 5.30, 6 times the amount of money and security, because Williams and Catherine's, who William is the heir, and heads of states, royalty were invited because he was the heir, to the to his wedding. The
And
security,
in William's case, they actually showed up
yeah,
as opposed to Harry's.
they spent 6.7 million pounds. With Harry and Meghan Markle, they spent 32 million pounds in security alone. Okay. That's about $40 million, guys. Just let that sink in for Meghan Markle, a D-list mattress actress.
On her wedding.
On her wedding for security. So Harry, so this is one of the questions I've said in my videos. Where was the medical staff? Because this is a senior royal who is at the hospital. Are you telling me that they left him unattended to inhale an entire canister? By the way, if you inhale an entire canister of laughing gas, you get hypoxia. You get a heart attack.
Oh.
Heart attack, your brain will explode. A bunch of bad stuff's going to happen to you. It's not going to be a fun way to go.
And how can Harry remember the exact details of the birth if he was that high?
Right.
Guys in the chat, please tell me, what do you think, and ask any doctor, would happen if you inhale and he says tank, not canister. It's like the doctor telling me, oh, you can self, morphine. No, that's a doctor. That is a controlled substance because the hospital is liable. No doctor in the United States, in the United Kingdom, is going to send a woman. And by the way, according to Harry, the baby was born in a bathtub with 2 epidurals, which is medically impossible because they would not put a woman who has an epidural. They would leave, at least for me, because I had my son with an epidural. They put a little thing here in case they need to tap you up again, in case. So they're not going to put you in a bathtub. Okay?
Because you can't feel your legs.
No, they won't. They
That's
can't.
the point.
They can't.
Move.
Legally, they won't allow, because then they have to lift you up because you can't walk up. Okay?
No.
And theoretically, if you're in the bathtub, it's supposed to take away the pain so that you don't need to have the epidural. Like, that's the purpose of it.
Exactly. I had the bathtub, and then they moved me to the bed, and then I had an epidural, and it only took one side, so they flipped me over, gave me another one, and then I could not move. And I was a geriatric pregnancy, and this thing takes like 8 or 9 hours or more before your body could even move. And yes, I did the same. I threw up. I was not the same. There's no way I'm going home after I had my baby, and there's no way you're feeling your legs for a good many hours.
Now, we have to say that but Harry says that within 2 hours, they were back at Frogmore Cottage. And Meghan was taking that picture with Doria and stuff like that. But this is where the journalism
Well, you know why, right? We know what.
Because they got the doll and they went back.
Because I found a clip that was, what's her name? The one, you'd know her, but it's one of the royal people. Camille, I forget her name. Anyway, she was doing a royal documentary, and they were talking about Catherine. And apparently after Catherine, that's the one. Yes, thank you.
But don't believe Camilla Tominey.
No, but they were talking about Catherine. And the thing was that when Catherine gave birth to Prince George, it was a big deal that she was leaving the hospital within 4 hours. So what did Meghan have to do? Meghan had to beat it. Meghan had to beat it. So if Catherine, because the thing was, like, she gave birth to George like around 11 o'clock in the afternoon or something like that. And she was home by tea time. So of course, and that was a big thing. And so of course, what did Meghan have to do? Meghan had to beat it. That's why she came up with 2 hours. That's where the 2 hours, in my opinion, allegedly. That's where I think the 2 hours came from.
In 2 hours, do they let you out?
No.
I was gonna say that doesn't make sense.
But they didn't.
But
what you people are missing is that they didn't let her out in 2 hours. They were back to Frogmore Cottage within 2 hours.
Right. That means after the birth,
Frogmore is about an hour and 20 minutes. Because you're coming back with a woman who just gave birth. So you're not going to go at high speed. And according to Harry, if she gave birth to 5:26 a.m., that means that they left at 6:20. And if they didn't use any royal protection or any police to stop vehicles, he followed the route, and it's almost rush hour. So
I guess the baby just popped out like bloop.
So they basically smacked the baby's ass, wiped Meghan Markle's ass, put her in the van, and sent her in.
Yeah,
that's pretty much what she's saying. Yep.
So
didn't check
I have
for
a
the
question.
vitals.
Postpartum preeclampsia, because we don't know which pregnancy it is.
Post-eclampsia.
Postpartum
I have a
preeclampsia.
question though, because I didn't have an epidural at all, but I had friends who did,
I
and
did.
they hook you up to a catheter after because you can't feel
Yep.
to go to the bathroom.
Yep.
They're not going to let you out of the
You can't
hospital when you're
breathe
hooked up
until you
to a
go to the bathroom.
catheter.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. And when you have a C-section or anything where you're hooked up to a catheter as well, here in Canada, well, at least where I live in Vancouver, you're there guaranteed 2 days. I did not have that. I was out in 24 hours to the time. They would not let me out before the 24-hour mark. So if I had that kid at midnight, I'm going home at midnight.
You know
That's
what
it.
it sounds like? It sounds like they don't know. Like, it sounds like Meghan doesn't know anything about birth because she didn't go through the process. Because there's no way that it would have took you 2 hours, like you said, Paula, smack the baby on the butt and then wash the baby up and go home. That's not likely.
No.
I'm just gonna address this lady land girl GB. Okay, I am a physical therapist. I worked in hospitals. For people who don't know, that is my original career. That's my degree. Okay.
Oh,
Yes, I studied in Canada, Toronto. So, yay, Toronto. So, and then so I am a physical therapist. I actually wanted to be a pediatrician, but in Canada, I don't know if things have changed from when I started. We used to do something that's called pre-med, which they took everybody the first 6 months, people who wanted to be brain surgeons and stuff like that, and we did rounds because medical career is so long. Then you start and then you change your mind and then you're halfway through, and
yes.
so we used to do that. And I remember I didn't know that, you had to go through surgery, even if you something, and I couldn't cut it because I can't cut people. I remember I passed out. And I was heartbroken because I wanted to be a pediatrician. And my argument was, I don't want to be a surgeon. Why can't I just, do all the other things? And this is because you should be able to do the most basic emergency procedures in case, you have a patient.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it, it makes sense. So because I didn't want to be a surgeon, I couldn't go through with the surgery part of the program. I was, one of my teachers said, why don't you go to physical therapy? But it's pretty much a lot of the things that are there. And tell me, when you say comments like this, and I'm going to leave you on to shame you, because I'm going to shame, and Shirley Annette, if this is all news, I'm going to ban you off the chat so you don't have to worry about listening to it. So the reason why I'm bringing all this up, because the point of this is to expose the lies of the mainstream media. Okay? Now, I don't care. People were saying that we don't have a right to know Harry's medical information, that he has entitled to his privacy. He has entitled, yes, he has, absolutely, but not in the United States. Because when he wrote that book, Spare, and he declared his past and present drug use, this is why the Heritage Foundation is suing the government to get a Freedom of Information Act, to see why this man was allowed to come into the United States and it's still allowed to be in the United States doing drugs. Now, I appreciate Dan Wooden and Royal News Network, but they got something very seriously wrong. Yes, certain drugs are legal in the state of California.
And Texas.
Whatever, and
And
whatever state, in Canada, yeah. And whatever, for U.S. citizens.
Oh.
Harry is a non-U.S. citizen, and therefore he's bound by federal law, not by state law. Which means that if marijuana is illegal in the entire United States, if there's one state that marijuana is not legal, Harry can't take it.
Oh.
Because federally across so this is why, and this is one of the first things they tell people who get a green card, make sure, and even applying for a card, because you need a card to go to a dispensary in California, even applying for that could be grounds for you to be deported or barred from coming in. So even if Harry, because I heard Dan Wooden say, oh, he can take some legal drugs. No, Mr. Dan Wooden, with all due respect, no, he can't. He can't take drugs in the United States of America. Now,
because he's not legally a
no,
legal
because he's a
citizen.
non-U.S. citizen.
He's not a citizen. Correct.
Immigrants and residents or whatever are bound by federal law. Okay. And this is one of the things that the first one, when people get their green card in California, because my uncle worked in immigration, right? And there's even there's even flyers that they give them. Make sure you
I have
can
a question. I have a question for Piper. She's saying in the chat that if you are a tourist, you can buy certain legal things. Hold on a second. You can if you're a domestic tourist. So if you are going to California from Arizona, you can. It's just like if I go to Massachusetts.
No, but you're a U.S. citizen. That's the whole thing.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yes, I was explaining to Piper that yes, you can be if you are a certain type of tourist. If you are a tourist within the U.S. and you are a U.S. citizen, yes, you can buy things in California.
Yeah.
But we're not talking about a U.S. citizen. We're talking about a British citizen.
Because
there's no way on God's green earth I'm going to do anything not legal in a foreign country. Like if it's not in Canada, there's no way. I don't care if you tell me it's legal and nothing bad's going to happen to me. I don't care. I don't trust it. Absolutely not. Never.
Yeah, because I went to.
That's what I was saying. I was explaining that, Piper. You can buy weed if you're 21, Piper, and you are in California, as long as you're a U.S. citizen. We're talking about someone who's not a U.S. citizen, even though he is a resident. He's a resident, but he's not a citizen.
Got me some. Went to a dispenser.
I just wanted to say that. Correct that.
So people, go inform yourselves, because any immigration lawyer, and you can go check it anywhere. And so I just want to address the lies and how people cover things up. And the reason why I'm bringing Harry's past, present, and we're going to talk about this one, because right now, remember the me you can't see?
Mm-hmm. Hello, Royal Daily Tea.
Yes, Royal Daily Tea, and she just hit it spot on.
Royal Daily Tea, I have a beef with you, but that's okay. I'll deal with that personally. But I was going to say, the last trend of, let me see, is that the one? How dangerous Amazonian drug promoted by Prince Harry has become the latest trend adored by middle-class Brits. Because he did the whole thing with Gabor Mate, promoting ayahuasca. Ayahuasca may be legal in the United States for U.S. citizens, but he's still a British citizen. And he's
but can't he just throw his wife under the bus and be like, she's probably going to go buy it, or they're flunkies or whatever?
Okay. Now, when I did my interview with the maid, the maid had contacted other people. The press refused to talk about it. That interview that I did with her, I didn't get hatred from the Sussex Squad guys. It was people in the Mexican community who ridiculed this. And guess what? The maid was right. Mattress Actress had Gavin Newsom on speed dial. Who was defending that charity?
Gavin Newsom.
That delinquent charity?
People underestimate, people who might not be in the U.S. or whatever might underestimate what an ethical breach it was for the governor of California to step up and publicly address two private citizens.
Yeah. And the problem I have is the following. We have fake news. We know that reporters, Dan said that he didn't report on the medical things because, they don't do that. That is a lie, because we know that we've seen now, and I'm not saying that Dan is lying. Maybe he didn't report on it, but we know that other papers did, because the BBC reported on it. The Guardian did. The Independent did in 2002. This is how we found out. And Prince Charles and Harry has never done rehab. I
thought he did it for like a day.
Didn't
they make him do it for like a day? Yeah.
No, it wasn't even rehab. His father took him to do a tour.
What's a day of rehab?
No, his father took him to see what happens when you do drugs.
Oh, scared straight? Oh yeah, that totally works.
Oh, that really worked because we saw him in 2007 doing, cocaine, snorting cocaine with vodka straight to the nose.
Yeah.
That's
Unreal.
still I can feel that burn. There's no way in hell I'm gonna do that. Oh my God. That's insane.
But
And-
how do
and-
they know that he is this serious? I mean, this is how can you say you love your son and do absolutely nothing? I mean, if anyone can step in
I
and
don't know if he did nothing. He probably didn't have
yeah,
any control.
maybe.
The
I don't
thing
think
is-
I agree with you. I don't think he has done nothing, or the palace or King Charles or people around. I don't think it's nothing. I think this is a person who just likes to
his father took him on a tour.
He has no
That's one of the best
purpose.
comments.
torch the village, if
He
you
did.
will. Right?
Doesn't
The
have a
only person
Yeah.
who can get better is themselves. If they don't want to get better and they want to live in, my mom died when I was 12 and feel sorry for me, well, then here's your pity party. Have a good time.
Yeah.
Like, unless you want to get better, you never will.
So
Yeah,
he's
but
still
the
doing it.
thing, the whole point that I want to get to here, guys, is because I was shocked. And the funny thing is that I'll tell you something. The reason why they don't go hard after Pidina is because Pidina is kind of she's not in their club in the sense that she's mean, because clearly she's not. Otherwise, I wouldn't be her friend, because I consider her pretty much the only friend on YouTube other than Ron, to tell you the truth. Like, I know they have my back. I mean, among YouTubers, I know that Ron, I love you, and Pidina, but Pidina, you see, Pidina is going to Lady C's ball. So they haven't been able to turn her against me because she has character.
Mhm.
But I know they tried. They tried to get her involved in that live with Sue Smith and Steph the Alterneur.
Did
tried to
they?
bug her about it. Yes, they did. And Pidina called me and she warned me. And guess
Oh,
what?
but
I
come
didn't
now,
believe
Paula,
her.
that was all
I didn't
my
believe
idea,
her.
according to
I
them.
didn't believe her. I didn't believe her
Really?
because I said to her, I just talked to Steph. There's no way. And she goes,
Wow.
Paula, Pidina is, Paula, I am telling you, Sue Smith reached out to me. So they wanted to rope her in. So
Yep.
The reason why I'm talking about this is the reason why we're experiencing Megxit fatigue or Meghan Markle fatigue, from my point of view, and I don't know about you, is that we have a certain group of YouTubers that, rather than doing their own fucking shit and minding their own fucking business, and I'm sorry, I'm swearing.
Trump swore today. You can swear today.
Yeah,
So funny.
they make it their whole mission. And Trevor called, go fuck yourself, because you got me in trouble with the UK Charities Commission when you lied to me. Because for you, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna say something, because I have had enough. Contacting my son, trashing my son. You guys crossed a line that there is no point of return for me.
Oh, they've done that a lot.
That's
No,
terrible.
for me, you can do anything to me. I was going through cancer radiation, and there were Andy Popcorn Palace sending me messages because their live where they tried to trash me backfired.
Wow.
And they needed to correct their, like, you got to come on my channel because, blah, 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 blah. Andy from
Yeah, to
Popcorn
save their
Palace
butts.
recorded Trevor Cole doing a video, and he sent it to Ron, and we all seen it.
Really?
What he
Wow.
said. Yes. So when I met Trevor Cole, he appeared on I was in Norway, guys. He appeared on my YouTube channel. He has less than 2,000 followers. He was a veteran. And you all guys know I have a soft spot for veterans. He was doing some shit in some river and stuff like that with another guy. And he talked about Harry and Meghan, and I reached out to him. And I helped him get to 5,000. I even helped him monetize. I even helped him raise 5,000 pounds that he told me was to write his book, because he needed 5,000 pounds. And then he said he needed the money for the UK charity, that it was a charity for veterans. And of course, I'm all the way in.
Right.
And I started, you guys know how I started promoting everything. I started promoting his charity because I believed him. Until one day, I get a phone call while I'm going through a trial, like my 7th trial, thanks to my abusive ex-husband in Norway, alone with no friends. I get a phone call from the UK Charity Commission. Asking me if it was the Paula Matanovich who was promoting this charity. And I said, yeah. Yeah. Like I said, yeah, because, in my mind, it never even occurred to me. And then they told me that was a fake charity, that wasn't a registered charity. If I was aware of that. Keep in mind that I'm going through a criminal trial where I'm the accused. I won that trial because I proved for like the 7th time that I was innocent. But in that time, imagine receiving a phone call and you think, and then when I confronted him with that and I said, you know what he said to me? He just lit me. Oh, I never said it was a charity.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he said that it wasn't a charity.
Wow.
And I said, you've come to my channel. We've done lives to raise funds for your charity.
So then
he went and for 2 years harassed and attacked according to task, like no tomorrow. He's harassed and attacked other YouTubers, and for some reason he's so fixated on me that with Tina, he has attacked. When Tina, as soon as I go to a YouTuber, they went after Tina. Tina has come out publicly and said, when I went on their channel, when they invited me after I finished with Avid Gardner and Trevor, they were telling me not to go back on your channel to join their team. I didn't know I was part of a team or they are part of teams.
I can say this to you, Paula. It's probably not at all personal. It's that you know things. You just explained exactly why they're going after you, because you know this stuff and you can prove them wrong. And that's why they need to silence and discredit you at all.
Yes,
of course.
They're putting me in this position because now they're screwing around with my son.
Yep.
My son went through an abusive marriage. I've had 3 murder attempts in my life. I've been discredited a lot because of my ex-husband, thanks to Jens Stoltenberg, who was the former head of NATO. You guys don't know my life. You don't know the kind of people I hung out with.
And the whole point
and
is
I'm fucking tired of this. You went a step too far when you got involved with my son. And I am going to expose everybody, every message I have, every person I thought was my friend. And then I found out that they ghosted me, they disappear, and then they're talking shit about me. Why don't, and this is why people are having Megxit fatigue, because of all this infighting. Why would they pick? Have you noticed that even that asshole of Thomas Markle Jr., who threatened me, who said he was going to come out of my house and wait for me?
Yep.
Because I know his little secret. I know your secret, Thomas Markle Jr., and I know your secret, Samantha Markle. Yep. And I have them in writing. And all I have to do is to let them free. I was ridiculed by Samantha Markle when I had Samantha Markle and I championed her. I put her on every YouTuber channel because nobody believed her and everything like that. I was called her mouthpiece. Everything I was called until I found out she was a liar along with her brother. And that they are doing to me what Meghan Markle was doing to them, which is going and gathering people behind people's back and try to discredit me. I can show your text messages, Samantha.
So many people are
disgusting for you, Tom. So back the fuck off and leave my son alone.
So what are they doing?
I mean, I don't know.
I'm an angry mother right now. This is not a YouTuber talking. This is an angry mother. Back the fuck off from my son.
Are they talking about your son?
There's things that done about my son, which they've crossed the line.
You should see the things that they've said about my 19-year-old daughter. They're horrific.
Wow.
And just recently, they have created accounts. My father passed away in May, a week before his 100th birthday.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I mean, of course, obviously, we were blessed to have him as long as we did.
Yes.
But they know that my father passed away. They have created accounts in my father's name that all they post are a bunch of little ghosts.
Oh, no. They created Facebook accounts about my mother.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
They do this.
Yeah.
This is what they do.
I was having cancer and they were attacking me. And I mean, I don't mind. You know what? If I lie, that's okay. Cancer is not an excuse, should not be a wall for you not to call me out on a lie. I've never said that. But if you can say, this is where I caught you lying, Paula. One thing is for me to say, I got this information. And if you go to my channel and if you look at my videos, 90.99% of the information I've shared with you has come true.
And if you
When I did the maid interview, and let me tell you something here, guys, because I talked about this before and I can show the receipts, but I'm not gonna unless Samantha, you fucking stop it. And Tom Markle Jr., you stop it. You stop it. You don't mess with my son. None of you got them Mexiteers, and I'm sorry I'm using the name, Lord's name in vain, but stop going after my son. It ends with my son, just like that movie, it ends with us. But it ends with my son. That went a step too far. Sue Smith, you are a self-obsessed person and you need to seek help. Okay? No, I am serious. This is a woman who went to England and all she could do was talk about me.
Wow.
Because you see what the problem is? They're all snakes. So they all rat on each other.
Yep. And in case you're curious,
I am doing my YouTube channel. I don't go on other people's channel. You don't hear me criticizing other people's content.
I have not.
And yet, we've seen right now people commenting on P. Dinah's, but they blame me. Oh, she probably got it. She's brainwashed P. Dinah. That's belittling to P. Dinah.
Of course.
And for people to think that Harry cannot overdose is insane. Do you guys understand? And the reason why I'm going with all of this is because the mainstream media lies.
Absolutely.
People don't know their laws.
Absolutely.
People don't know their laws. And then we're gaslit. Gavin Newsom goes on worldwide television and says, oh no, Archwell is not delinquent. Yes, it was.
Yep.
It's still in.
Not to mention that he even the fact that he even discussed it was an ethical breach, let alone whether or not he was telling the truth.
Yeah,
and
why
actually,
is he commenting?
Grumpy Sapper, he's in the chat right now. I don't know if you know, but he just posted a video about 2 hours ago, hour ago, in which he revealed a tremendous amount of Trevor Colt's lies.
You know, so
Trevor Colt
I gotta
and,
tell you
and
this
that
because
crew.
I'm done. I am done. And if you force me to show receipts, when I received that phone call, guys, I'm going to tell you about the Meghan Markle phone call because everybody ridicules me for that. I didn't tell anybody. I posted it. Remember that, Letitia? Were you part of our group, Letitia, when I posted that I received a phone call from somebody who sounded like Meghan Markle? Letitia, are you there?
I remember. I know where you're going with this. I know because I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
You were not in the group chat.
No.
I just posted it in the group chat. I didn't even finish typing it when Thomas Markle Jr. called me.
Did you say something to me, Paula?
Do you remember that group chat when last year in February I posted and I said, I think I got a phone call and I think it was Meghan Markle?
Yes.
You remember that?
Yes.
Immediately Thomas Markle Jr. phoned me. What did she tell you? And then I said, you don't have to worry about it because I don't believe anything she said about you and your buddy Joe when you were babysitting Meghan Markle.
Oh.
And then the very next day, he went and did a live saying that he left his home not because his father kicked him out for doing anything improper. You know? So I went and got the phone number the next day. I didn't do a live. I didn't do anything. It was Thomas Markle Jr. who told me you should do a video.
Yeah.
It was his idea.
Oh.
Because he said, that night I didn't sleep because I kept thinking, shit, because we spoke when I got the bill because you can go, they didn't call me on WhatsApp, which is the weird thing. This is why I stopped doing my members live because I knew that I had people in my members live that were from the Sussex squad, right? Because I have a number for my members so they can call me on WhatsApp, but they didn't call me on WhatsApp because you see, when you call on WhatsApp, your number shows.
Right.
So they call me on the regular number for the members live, and they said private number. But you can go, so you know these guys. If you go to your provider, they actually get the number. And
they can?
Yes, they can. And it was a 416 number.
It's Toronto.
Go figure, right? So I immediately reached out to Samantha. And I had the text to prove it. I immediately typed it and I reached out to Samantha and I said, Samantha, this and this happened. And she was, what is she saying? Because they didn't say, I don't believe you. She said, what did she say? And when I told her what she said, well, that was acceptable back then. And I'm not going to say what it was.
Okay.
And then she confirmed that what the person had said was true, which meant that she lied under oath.
Oh.
Ha.
Wow.
And then I said, because had it been me when I was going through my ex-husband's things, guys, because I went through 7 years of trials and my ex-husband was sending stuff behind my back and people were dropping me and I didn't know why. And this is the feeling I get right now, you know? What I did is like, I said to her, I sent her the number because I said, this is the number, you know, like you get the printout from the telephone company.
Yeah.
And I said, this is the number. She immediately recognized it. And she said, that's her number, but I don't think that's hers anymore.
Hmm.
So I went to the police because Thomas Markle Jr. had told me, go to the police and report it. And then the police came back to me and said that they contacted whatever, right? And they said that it had been a misdialed. And I said, how can it be a misdial if it lasted 7 minutes and 37 seconds? I mean, if you make a mistake when you call somebody, especially international, you say, oh, sorry, hang up.
Yeah.
How do you misdial someone internationally? That's a lot of numbers.
Right.
Exactly.
But the point that I'm getting at here, that this is why people are fatigued. And this is because these people are creating a lot of, and this is where the point that I'm going to get, and I'm going to let you guys go crazy with this. And it's like, I said to her, you can have your lawyers because you're going through a lawsuit right now about your sister defaming you.
Right.
And they can request immediately because this would be evidence supporting, you know, that she's still doing it, right?
Yep.
I would have given anything to have that. Somebody give me that, wouldn't you guys? Because that's further proof.
Oh,
because because the police told me that the number they couldn't that had been a misdial and the number belonged to a public figure.
Oh.
And I said, well, it wasn't a misdial, but they said, well, that's what they're saying. They're sticking to that story. And I said, well, can you at least tell me if this number has changed owners? It says, no, it's still the original owner.
Mm-hmm.
So I said to Samantha,
that's the part that they don't get is that these things can be.
I said that to Samantha. And she goes, well, no, because they say no. I said, well, but your lawyers can find out. All they have to do is get the printout and verify where that number was because it's more than 7 minutes and it will be easy for you to track it down. And that's when she immediately told me to mind my own business. And then she ghosted me. Yep. And then she started bad mouthing me like crazy behind my back. She told a big channel that I participate. You guys remember why the royal mess ended? Because she went and told the royal people there that they should either it was her or me. Luckily, they chose me.
Huh.
Wow.
So I'm always shocked and surprised. Not anymore. But
not anymore.
Why people are suffering fatigue is because these YouTubers. Why the fuck would anybody care? Do you think I go and I look? If anything, I always promote other YouTubers. Oh, go watch this video.
Oh, you're always promoting content creators.
And I've seen people. I have seen some videos from some Megxit, and I'm like, you went down a rabbit hole that you're giving us a bad name. People who talk about Meghan Markle, you know, like straight up lie. You know, so, but I don't comment about it. But I'm shocked, not shocked, but it's really funny to me to now that they even contacted Thomas Markle Jr., who is a known liar, who is a man who held a gun to a woman's head, a man who I extended my friendship.
What?
Yes.
Well, you know that his girlfriend has threatened me.
What?
His girlfriend has threatened me, and just yesterday she posted on her community tab that she's on her way somewhere. And this is like 2 weeks after she posted that I wasn't safe because she was coming to visit me. And now she's posted her flying from an airplane. And this is Thomas Markle's little friend.
This is crazy stuff.
Wow.
So the reason why I'm talking about this is because
you know Trevor is Thomas Markle Jr.'s moderator, right?
Really?
I don't know. The truth is, guys, I don't watch very many channels.
But it's worth noting.
I'm just saying, I'm sorry, you know, like this is how I go about my channel. I get up in the morning, I read the news, and I go, oh, this doesn't sound right. And I start doing research. For example, right now, Pidana and I are working on because She's helping me with a private investigator because I called Santa Barbara because in July 2020, there were 4 calls to the sheriff's department. One was a phone call directly to the sheriff's department. The other ones were alerts like, when your alarm goes off, which is really odd because if you have an alarm company, it's usually the company who calls you when the alarm goes off to check that everything is okay. Right? The only times, and I know this because I worked in security with VIPs and stuff like that, the only time a police is involved is when the alarm is linked to the police because you're either a VIP, a senator, a congressman, a certain kind of ranking person. Because it says so, because otherwise Meghan Markle would call 911, but apparently she has a direct number to the a special sheriff's department. Because we have requested, the press requested the phone call because 911 calls, we all hear the 911 calls of everybody, guys. Sandra Bullock, when she was trapped. And the reason why I'm bringing Sandra Bullock is because Trevor Cole said that I told him that I had lunch with Sandra Bullock. I mean, I just can't.
Did you? What'd you eat? What'd you have for lunch?
Yeah. No, seriously. Did you have
apparently dessert? And this is the very same man who faked the Queen's letter.
Yep. God. Amongst many other things.
That's the alternate, guys. She scraped that live. I wish she would put it back. If you want to do, I don't want your apology that you sent me, Steph, the alternate. I want you to put back that live that you did outing Trevor Cole, where you were crying for almost 3 hours and you made almost 4,000 pounds from people giving you super chats, feeling sorry for you while you exposed Trevor Cole.
3,000.
No, 4,000, almost 4,000 pounds.
Jeez.
And yet now they're friends. After she exposed Trevor Cole, I wonder if this split the profits. Because now they're besties.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
I know nothing.
What I'm saying about this
she
is
got
there's no Meghan Markle fatigue. The fatigue is all these Megxit people who should mind their own business. We should be able, guys, to bring you news. And you guys should be able to decide what you believe or not. What people are fed up with is the infighting that I don't start because I don't even know that they're doing all these things behind me because I find out through people like that tell me,
I can say that's true. I said something to Paula the other day and she was like, wait, what? Who? Wait, who? What?
I noticed
had no idea.
You don't talk about these people.
You don't.
Listen,
Leticia,
I come from
everything in the group chat. Where have I ever dissed anybody in the group chats? I always talk about Cristiano and stuff like that, but you guys know I have the heart for Cristiano.
You clearly, Paula, put your heart on your sleeve. I come from the acting, modeling world. You can't tell right now, but I do look like decent when people, good people put makeup on me. The best advice I ever got was, it's none of my business what your opinion of me is. And just keep moving. Keep moving.
And
right? But I can't tell you what to do and whatever, but it lets me sleep at night. I don't care. You want to talk to me? Go ahead. Good time.
Like for example, people go to ChatGPT and Grok. Okay, ChatGPT and Grok, what they do is they look for what's out in the public domain, and that's where they give you the information.
Yes.
So if it's not in the public domain, they won't report it.
Yep.
In fact, guys, you wouldn't have known. Now the bodyguards are speaking out because now we know that Prince Andrew used to sneak people in, and by law, for security measures, they needed to log in who came in and who went out.
Absolutely.
And now we know through the bodyguard. I go watch Heretics, Prince Andrew's bodyguard, that a lot of the times they ignore that rule because Andrew said don't write him in. Okay, and
when you're the Queen's son, they listen.
No, Debbie Coffee, I'm not letting them get to me. I'm just saying back the fuck off from my son.
Well, that's the thing. It's not. You can say whatever the hell you want about me. I don't really care. I mean, like you said, I can still sleep at night. It's when they start attacking your family members and putting your family members at risk.
Yeah.
That's when they step over a line that you can no longer ignore.
Exactly.
But you know what it is? It's like they're saying, because it's not in ChatGPT. ChatGPT and Grok only gather information. You know that if you go to Grok and you ask, did Meghan Markle commit perjury in the UK? It would say no.
Right.
It will say
Because
that
she wasn't.
she misunderstood. She misremembered.
Yep. Because
When
she
we all
wasn't
know
charged
that she
with it.
committed perjury, because Grok gathers what's in the public domain, and Meghan Markle never was associated to perjury. So the word perjury is not associated to Meghan Markle. So if you go to, and I published this on my X.
Yep.
So
ChatGPT
ChatGPT can only, and Grok can only give you information that's out in the public domain. We're seeing
And
this right now.
it can give you details, but you still have to find the answers for yourself. You can't depend on it as an answer.
Yes.
It just gives you the guidelines.
Yes. And you know what really bothers me? Because I gave them inside information that they made a lot of money from because it was true. Right? And then when they made, and then now they're binding these people. Wherever you see Sue Smith, you're never going to see me on that platform.
Mm.
That's the way I'm going to put it. And I'm going to put it out here very clearly. Nor the Sidley twins, nor Jen, nor, let me see who else. Trevor Cole, of course not. Avid Gardner, forget it. I don't know these people. Trevor, I try to be a friend. But harassing my child, sorry. This is not the YouTuber Paula. I'm speaking to you guys. This is a pissed off mother. And if I had them in front of me, ooh.
Well, that's it, though, Paula. You're never going to have them in front of you. They're keyboard warriors. Like, whatever, right? Like, yeah, like they're a bunch of, like, I don't know these people that you're talking about. I'm not even going to lie about it.
But I don't know.
So what? So they're a bunch of D-bags.
But, you know, right? I don't know anybody. But why go after my son? Why? They went, you know, do you know that they phoned, I don't know, they phoned one of my aunts in LA. She's like 80 something and she's half deaf.
They called her?
Yes, she doesn't even remember. She still has a landline. You remember that, right? Harvey? She still has a landline, right? And my cousin is a sheriff in California, right? So they call my aunt, and they don't know me by Paula. They know me by my middle name, right? So if you call and ask for Paula, they go like, who? Because they know me by Patty, you know?
Right.
So my aunt didn't know. My poor aunt is half deaf, worse than me. That half deaf, worse than me. And she's getting somebody asking about Paula. You know, they've called my sister.
My God.
Well, this is what happens when you don't have family. I'm like, yeah, go ahead. Right? Like,
right.
What are you going to do?
This is ridiculous. This is absolutely
ridiculous. And
I'm waiting for them.
Now that end is all this bullshit. To what end?
Right.
Why harass? Why
to shut us up? They want to shut Paula up. They want to shut Paula up. They want her discredited so that people don't listen to her when she starts bringing the receipts. So this has been for months. I'm going to say for at least a year. Thomas Markle Jr. and Samantha Markle have been working tirelessly to completely discredit Paula because she has the receipts. And if by the time she brings the receipts, they want her discredited.
Yeah.
So my 2 cents that no one cares about, it has to do with money. And because I live in Canada and I don't get paid for crap. Like, if you're putting out stuff, and this is just what I'm learning now, so you're taking away from their bag. So they have to say something about you. No, go over here so I get the money. It's all about money. Money.
Wow. Knocking out
no one cares about
for the Markles, it's deeper.
Do not unfollow anybody.
I like Little Munchkin. I'm late in the game. Who are we unfollowing?
No, you're not. You're not unfollowing anybody. This is not. Please do not unfollow anybody.
Follow me because I need help.
I think that's so cute.
No, please follow them and listen to them and make your own decisions.
Absolutely.
That's the answer.
This is my whole point, that there is no Meghan Markle fatigue. The fatigue is about all these YouTubers discrediting or trying to discredit other YouTubers because it's not in the mainstream media. The point that I'm trying to make here is that the mainstream media has lied constantly.
Absolutely. Mainstream media cannot be trusted.
I mean, we just had a reporter. I respect Dan enormously, but Royal News Network, who should know this better too, that non-U.S. citizens are bound by federal law. So therefore, Harry cannot do any drugs in the United States of America. And the reason why they cover this shit up is because if he ODs, that means he's taking drugs, which means
Yes.
he has to be kicked out of the country. Second, they have to investigate where the drugs come from.
Yep.
Because I can tell you something. In Hollywood, nobody trusts Harry after he docks Courtney Cox.
Yep.
Absolutely. Nobody trusts them. But nobody's going to also report on these things because they're going to sweep it all under the rug. They're going to keep it for diplomatic reasons. None of this is going to come to light. It can't come to light.
No, but you have the governor of California protecting them.
Yep.
But he's protecting himself too. He's protecting his job, his position. He's doing a favor. This is all a strategy for each other. They have this old little world where nobody else can see or look in. If there's a little crack here and there, they're going to cover it up and they're going to protect their positions. And they're
it made him look really bad doing that.
But
isn't it amazing, guys? I think we can all pretty safely say it. At least I will say this is my own opinion, that we know that Harry's a drug addict.
Yep.
This man is boasting about doing drugs.
Harry will tell you he's a drug addict. We don't even have to say it. He said it himself.
Didn't he say it? He said it himself in that interview.
What a moron.
He said it in the interview where he said he got through things by taking drugs. He's told us.
Here's the thing though. Shit rolls downhill. Right?
But he's going to say he's a drug addict because of his mother and because of this and because of that and his lifestyle. He's not going to say that he had all the opportunities. He's just going to look at because I truly believe he has no purpose and probably he wasn't prioritized. And so he has nothing to do. And they let him do whatever he wants. Everybody's busy and they probably didn't, he didn't get busy. He's not that smart. He's not that energetic. He's not that, he just wants to have fun. And what's going to happen? He's going to find the easy way.
Yeah.
This is what happens when you don't punish your children.
My children went to, they were in public school. After a while, I put them in private school. When I started doing better in my business, I put them in private school. I wanted a better life for them. One of the very first things I learned about putting them in private school, an all boys school in Toronto, was that all the kids had access to better drugs. I was shocked. And the amount and these highfalutin people that are very popular in the politics or whatnot, their children, they had the best alcohol, they had the best drugs, and the kids, nobody has a record, nobody knows anything. So these circles are very much like that. Harry's going to be in that circle. You think Eton is going to be nice and clean? They're all going to have their own little parties.
No. And I just want to say, Tammy Mustafa, Paula, what is your end game? You don't have to be worried about me. The only reason why I'm angry right now is because my son received a few letters from people trashing me and telling them what they're going to do to me. And it sounded very much like the vocabulary that Thomas Markle Jr. has used.
So unacceptable.
They found out my son's address. And now I'm looking I have to move my son because
how did they know his address?
I don't know. How do they find?
How did they find mine?
You too.
Oh they put it on YouTube last week.
Wow.
And you know that YouTube could shut down a channel for doxing people.
Oh yes.
Yeah, but they won't.
A restaurant that's on open table.
If you tell me who it is, I will contact my team because a team represents me. That's in direct contact with YouTube. And I want to tell you something, guys. My son receives another letter, and I'm going to make public all the messages.
Yeah, I have been talking to
and I'm going
YouTube
to accuse you of what you know, what you've done, and I'm going to show your messages. All of you.
Is that wrong in that? You need another letter. What? I want to know
5 days.
What's going on. Just say it, Paula. Just say it. Why does it have to be another letter?
Because there's so much that she knows that it would take her hours to tell us everything she knows. Right,
and
Paula?
not only that, pretty much at least 20 YouTubers and big ones would be gone if I show the receipt, guys. Because then the funny thing is that I didn't know about this. People send me these receipts.
Wow.
And you know what the problem is? That you don't have a right to punch me in the face, try to discredit me, try to humiliate me, lie about me, and then be offended by how I react to your actions. Because my ex wanted to beat the fuck out of me. And it's like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I punch you. I'm sorry my hand got in the way of you punching me and it hurt
Of
your
your face.
hand. You know, like you don't have a right to badmouth me, defame me, and then be offended by how I react, because I have a right to react.
Yes, you do.
I have a right to defend myself. I really, guys, the only reason why I'm so angry is because they went after my son. Because I put up with a lot of abuse for years, and you know
Yeah,
this,
you
RMB,
did.
because you know that they've talked
Yep.
to you about it.
Yep. Yes. Yep.
Just recently, Trevor Cole did a live. Sue
Yep.
Smith was in another live bad-mouthing me.
Wow.
These people are
You know,
Thomas
it's
Jr.
like-
Thomas Jr. said specifically he is going to go to your house and then he's going to go sit outside mine.
Come on,
He said it
motherfucker.
on a live.
Come
He
on,
said it
come on.
on a
I
live.
dare him. I dare him. I dare him to come to my house.
He said he was
Howard?
going to go sit outside mine so that I don't have to copy
No,
his
but the things that they said to
stuff.
my son, and the thing is that they're cowards because, you know, like it came from the United States and some came from the United Kingdom, but they don't have a return address.
Of course not.
You know,
They're
so
cowards.
my son went to the police and they said that there's nothing they can do because, you know. So now I have to move my son.
Wow.
You know, so that's where it ends. And the problem that I have is that it's incredible how this little video about Harry, they seem that it's impossible that Harry could overdose. This self-confessed drug addict. And what does the media say? Because Dan Woodman said, well, we don't talk about it. And Royal News Network, oh, because they have entitled to privacy. You are a U.S. citizen, RNN. You know
It's
that
not
Harry,
privacy.
from the moment that he said in his book Spare that he does drugs, people would have a right to question, how was this guy allowed in? And let me tell you something in case you don't know. If he got a waiver, because he came into the United States under the Trump administration. So if he got a waiver, we know that Donald Trump is a huge fan of the royal family. Great. If he got a waiver,
And that was while the
waiver
Queen.
is for him to get in, but once it's in the country, he has to obey the laws. So if he ODs, that means this jerk is doing drugs. So they're not going to expose that, because if he's doing drugs, he has to be kicked out.
Yep.
That's a lot of paperwork. Let's just be honest.
That's right. You're right. You're
Like,
absolutely right.
But like King Chuck is sick. I've said it. I've called it 1,000 times over. I said Canadian Thanksgiving, which is October, and or Christmas. I've been talking about this for months. The guy is sick. He is not going to kick his kid to the curb. Once a parent, always a parent. I'm not ragging on the guy. I understand what's happening. And his kid's a hurricane. Oh my God. Harry the hurricane. And I'm Heather the hurricane. Oh my God. So, but point of story is no one's going to throw him under the bus because shit rolls downhill. Everyone's in trouble. And then you have to open up Pandora's box. No one wants to do that at all. It's cheaper to keep her, which means keep him quiet and give him some money and give her some money at the end of the day.
But my whole point of this is that the mainstream media lies, and people are going, and I can't believe that this little video, but you know what? I've done 2 videos about this in the past, and it never brought this attention to it.
Nope.
But
Well, you touched too close. You went too close to the sun here. But
it wasn't even me. It was Bedina, and then we verified the sources. And guys, guess what? Santa Barbara Cottage has been sued for HIPAA violations for leaking information about patients, and they lost $3 million. We're gonna show you all the receipts next Saturday. I'm not saying that that's where we got our information, but we have sources. I have proven over and over and over that we have sources. And you know, like
I get out of the air.
But because, you know, the mainstream media is not talking about it, of course, that TMZ is not reporting about it. TMZ had to delete an entire documentary about Catherine because they lied about it. Piers Morgan, I cannot believe Piers Morgan is saying that Meghan Markle was pregnant on that video. Even a blind man can see that she's full of pillows.
I don't know. Here's what I'll say.
Their jobs. They want to keep their jobs. They want to keep their sponsors. They don't want the bullshit. They're going to say anything. think these people are telling you the truth. They tell you everything is skirted. That's why you've got to be really, really smart what you're listening to, or does it make sense? What is the word? What is the action? Look at the action. Don't listen to anything they're saying, because even Piers Morgan, he's so easily swayed. You can see it. It's like
So I'm sorry to interrupt, but when we're all talking about like the hurricane, right? And everyone's keeping everything hush hush. And it's not to make it about me. I'm making it very clear. A couple of years ago, it was before COVID. So it was like 2018. My husband and I were at Walmart, and I'm going to throw Walmart under the bus. And a lady had a heart attack. Me and my husband did CPR on her. Not one employee came over with what I call the jumpstart kit. No one would call 911. They didn't have a first aid attendant. So don't ever have a heart attack in Walmart. We know people in everywhere. My husband's a photographer. We know everyone.
Wow.
We called people in radio. We called people at the news stations. They said, we're never going to touch it because it's Walmart.
There you go.
Never. And that was, I'm telling you, it was like 2017. Anyways, she lived. Good story. But like, they wouldn't even put us on the local news here in Vancouver and be like, hey, we saved someone. Nope. Absolutely not. Nothing.
And you know why I felt vindicated when I saw Meghan Markle's with Love Meghan when she mocked Mindy Kaling? Do you remember what the maid said? How Meghan Markle used to mock their accent?
Yeah. Yes.
I felt vindicated. And also, people don't. I've done quite a few videos because Meghan Markle did a Tatler. There's a Tatler article where they said that they met with Meghan Markle at her £2 million mansion in California, not in Montecito. And the maid said that Meghan Markle has a condo in Beverly Hills, near Beverly Hills, in Wilshire, or in Wilshire Boulevard.
I've heard that several
times. That's like a Pretty Woman Wilshire Boulevard kind of deal.
You know, but I just want to show you something, guys, because this is very important for you to know. You know that bodyguard that Harry has? The one that's with him all the time, the bald guy?
Yes.
The guy that went to Disneyland?
David Langdown. That's his royal. He was with Harry in the trip. He was with Harry on that.
It's not the one that's always got his hands on Meghan. It's the other one.
It's this one right here. You can see him going very young. And then it's this one who went with Meghan, and now he's with Harry all the time, right?
Yep.
So this is the guy right here.
That one.
His name is David Langdown. He was with them when they went to give birth. Harry went to give birth. So he's been with Harry for at least forever. The reason
he's the godfather.
No,
the secret keeper.
Now this guy, listen to this.
He knows where the bodies are buried.
Yeah.
This is not only
metaphorically.
This guy quit. He was given the medal of I have it here because it's here. Okay. He was given. This is the guy right here. Okay. He was given a medal from the Queen in 2022, and then he moved to be with Harry. He has been loyal to the royal family, not Harry. This is why Harry was wandering the streets alone of London, because he knows that the bodyguards report to the king, to the royal family. Do you understand that? This guy.
Well, he's a shitty bodyguard if you lost Harry, and he's doing nicky 9 doors looking for like his stash. Like, come on. You can't
force him. You can force him. The royals, they do leave. And here we go. Here, this is where he retired in the summer 2022 and went to after he received the Royal Victoria Medal from Queen Elizabeth II for services to the royal family.
Well, peace out. You retire with honors. Bye-bye.
No, he didn't retire. To me, he continues to work for the royal family, but he is taking care of Harry.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why when Harry went ringing in the doorbells like that, guys, is because he didn't want the family to know, because he knows that the family is paying for that guy. Because why would that guy quit?
Obviously, his father's paying for him on the side. Obviously, we're retired from the official, and now he went overseas,
a
he's
medal.
being paid on the side, obviously.
Yes.
But the
So,
guy's doing a shit job at his job. Like,
It was probably
there's
his day
ring
off.
cameras. Like, welcome to, like, what year is it? 2025? Like, you don't know this stuff. You just let the guy walk down streets. Hey,
Told the guy to go get him something, go get me a donut.
like,
And while
I'm
he
looking
went to
for
go get the donut,
Alice
he
and the
went knocking on
caterpillar.
doors.
Dear God, looking for the next party? Come on.
So Paula, they left. He left in 2022 from Harry and Meghan.
No, from a
He left the
fishing
royal
boat.
family.
He left. He used to take care of the queen and Harry, and he retired. But they gave him a Medal of Honor, and he immediately went to work for Harry.
In all fairness, Harry's much faster than the queen at that age. You know,
No,
Harry
I mean,
can
you
move
know what I
around a
mean?
lot faster.
You know what I mean? So
It's
when
true.
people, you know what makes me mad? I don't mind if you don't want to believe. People don't have Meghan Markle his stories fatigue. People are fed up of all these YouTubers calling out other YouTubers. If you don't, let us put out our information. You do your job and let you people have, thinking hats on and you decide. But the fact of the matter is that they have to bring Thomas Markle Jr., they have to be on Dan Wooten, they have to be on this, and they have to say, oh, we don't comment on medical. Yes, you do. It was on BBC News. Everybody knew. The whole point is that the press knows, and it's the hypocrisy of it all. To this day, what happened with the Heritage Foundation? Where is the Heritage Foundation with the lawsuit for the Freedom of Information Act? Where is it?
Well, I have my suspicions about who the Heritage Foundation really represents.
What that I wrote to the Charities Commission about what's happening with Sente Vale? Mom.
You did? What'd you say?
I posted a tweet and I asked the Charities Commission. You have to remove yourself from another platform. You're in.
Oh, my computer died. Okay, is that better?
It's the sound that was there, yeah. So that's what people have. They don't have Meghan Markle fatigue. People are fed up of all this infighting, all these YouTubers, because then people say, what's the point? If at least the Sussex squad is united.
I don't have fatigue with Meghan Markle. I think it's a miracle. Like, keep going. Like, this makes my life. Thank you very much. Right? Like,
But, and I have to
whatever.
ask you,
I'm a
RMB,
nobody. No one
because-
cares about me. Who cares?
And I
I
have
think
to
there's
ask
so
you,
much to
RMB.
learn from this. I think there's so much to learn. The fatigue, there's so many learning points of what not to do in business, how not to conduct yourself, how actions and words don't align. There's so many different things. I think the fatigue truly isn't the fatigue. It's competition where there's the infighting because everybody wants to be,
And
I don't know, more sensational.
I don't know. And
They
you know
get
what they told
jealous.
me?
I agree, Manuela.
You know what they told me? Because Andy from Popcorn Palace said that they had a problem with my delivery. Oh, I didn't know you were my boss. Sorry, sir. I'm sorry. How should I deliver the news, Andy? Please tell me.
Because
Can you please
I
send
know
me a
what that
memo?
means. They don't like your style because you're very direct. You don't bullshit. And a lot of people get offended by people who are straight shooters. People who are full of crap usually want people to dance around
Exactly.
everything.
But I
People who
wonder
are very inauthentic. Funny enough, Meghan uses the word authentic a lot. Authentic
God.
people tend to not bullshit.
Don't
They
need to.
just deliver it out there. They don't have to sugarcoat it. And other authentic people take it because they know what it is. And I think
They don't
there's a
need the
very
word
different
salad.
thing. Pardon?
What do you guys?
They don't need the word salad.
Right. I can't
So,
stand the word salad. That's why I like
But,
this.
but can you imagine? Can you imagine if I went to your channel, RMV, and say, I don't like the way you do your delivery, and I don't like
No.
the fact that you're not sharing the sources. I gave
The world
you
is
the phone
free.
number.
Go listen to something else.
Yeah, like
Right,
exactly.
Andy
keep
Popcorn
bringing your
Palace.
name.
I gave him the phone number to Samantha Markle because he didn't have any of the contacts. But what it is, and this is what people are fed up with, it's like apparently there can only be two people who know the truth about Meghan Markle.
That's right. They're jealous.
No. You are not allowed. Apparently, there's only two people who should be the truth tellers for Meghan Markle. And if you don't align with them, then they call you out.
Well,
Or
that's
they ban
because
behind your back.
That's
you have to
This is what
remember.
people are fed up. I believe that my subscribers are fed up with all this infighting, all the lies, all pretending to be nice while stabbing people in the back. They're fed up with it. They're sick and tired. Like you have, oh, I don't believe this shit. I don't care if you believe it. I don't care if you believe it, but that's your opinion. But why say it about another YouTuber when I don't go and say it about other YouTuber?
But you brought an
I do
important
my
point,
stuff.
Paula. You mentioned an important thing, that it's not like the Sussex Squad because the Sussex Squad is united. What the Markles want, what Thomas and Samantha want, is for the Megxit community to be their Sussex Squad and to do and say the narrative that they present. That's all
There
that's
you go.
allowed.
Do not
But
go deep. Stay surface. You go
No,
deeper.
but the interesting part of it all is that the
Exactly.
reason why they don't attack P. Dinah
Not
is
yet.
because no, they're not attacking her because they know they
Yeah.
can't. You know why? Because if I had been the only, I have posted this before and they never talked about it. But as soon as P. Dinah also posted it, she's part of their group, but in a nice way. P. Dinah is part of everybody's group because she's wonderful, you know? And then I love her and she's a friend. So they can't discredit her because, you know, she's one of them in a nice way. You know
So
what I mean?
she talks to them.
She's also strong. She's also
she's not
more
fighting with
powerful
them.
than they are.
And P. Dinah has lawyer money. You
She's
know
more
what I mean?
powerful than they are. That's why they don't. That's why they befriend her,
Yeah.
and that's why they love Bummer, and that's why they keep her on their narrative as much as possible because they're scared of her.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave the links of everybody's channel in the video description, guys. Okay, because you know, like for me, I have never gone and I said I don't believe what this YouTuber is saying. No, I read what the mainstream media is saying. I do my research. I have my contacts. I get info, and I report it to you at my own expense. The mainstream media, they're saying, oh, it's because TMZ doesn't have it. Yeah, TMZ did that horrible documentary about Catherine that they had to take down because it was full of lies. TMZ was the first one to get the birth certificate record for Lily, but yet they don't question the fact that the name of the father are Harry's royal titles, which is
paid
not
not
allowed
to.
in the United States.
It's so fake.
No one listens to me.
It's so fake.
What did you say, Heather?
I said no one listens to me. I'm like the Charlie Brown teacher. Womp, 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 womp.
No, what did you want
Like,
to say?
oh my God. Right? Like, it's all, everyone, it is, as soon as you figure out what the tornado is, it makes so much sense in your head, right?
Yep.
No one else is going to throw you under the bus because they have other crap going on. Shit rolls downhill. I can't say that enough. And like, Paula, I'm not here to blow smoke up your ass. I'm probably never going to get invited back ever again. But it's like, hey, it's one of those things. And you just got to find your village and get with your village.
Oh,
and if you know
the
who
reason
you
why I'm
got
doing this,
in
the
the
reason why
day-
I'm doing this,
She
is
has
not
her
because I'm a
village. The point is that they're going outside of the boundaries and they're involving her son. That's when it goes different. That's not about ignoring them. It's about, listen, I don't want to get legal. I don't want you in jail. So listen, lay off or else I'm dropping the receipts. I mean, these people are doing really horrible, awful things. This isn't just, oh, I just want to talk about
I believe
you because
that they burnt down the house of Danger Zone. Danger Zone house burnt down. You know that they actually threatened my little shelter that I have in Nicaragua.
So, okay, wait. I'm going to be quiet now.
No. You know, I the reason why I'm saying this is no. Please,
I'm just saying it's
Heather,
different.
you can never be quiet in this channel. We are not Megxit. We are not mainstream media. We're nothing. You can say your opinion and you're safe, and I will have you back anytime for disagreeing with me. The only reason why I'm angry right now is because my son has nothing to do with this.
Right.
I don't know if you're a mother. You know, I don't know if you're a mother, but you don't.
I have two sons.
Okay, I'm saying I don't know if you are. You see, I don't know your personal life, but I'm okay with me. You have no idea how many attacks they've done on me. They attacked me when I had cancer, and they thought they could kick me down. They went and did a live where they lied to the world, but it backfired. And everything.
Those are all just cheap shots. That's all garbage.
You know, but I don't care. I haven't cared until my son was involved.
Absolutely. I hear you. I think it's terrible.
And you know my son, Manuela. You know my son in person. And he's a lovely young man.
He's a very lovely young man. He has nothing to do with anything. The fact that people are bothering you, if they were bothering him or my child, I'd be like, this is wrong. That's crossing a line. More than crossing a line. And it's very, very
for the product. He
invasive.
really loves him. He really loves him. I think he ran out of them though. Tell me what it is so I can buy them. What he got so I can buy it for him so he can get them. But I've had enough. I've had enough. And I disagree. I mean, what do you guys think? Do you think that people are tired of the Meghan Markle stories? Or do you think that people are tired of these YouTubers attacking other YouTubers rather than just sticking to doing their own reporting? And and let people decide for themselves, because I find it disrespectful and they create so much chaos in the people and then you have people coming to attack. They create all these bots accounts and then they come to all the lives I go to, and these are the very same YouTubers, guys. These Megxit, they create fake accounts and they go on other lives and they post using those trashing and doing all kinds of things because they have at least 7 or 8 alias.
Their sock accounts have sock accounts.
I don't even know how they do that. How can they have more than one account if you have only one email?
Because they have multiple emails and multiple devices.
I'm sure I don't know enough about that kind of stuff, but I suspect there's a service that you could pay for, or you can find somebody to do this for you if you really are that hungry to do it and to invade other people's accounts. I'm sure there's sneaky ways. People get very, very, when there's money involved or power involved, people get very nasty.
But you know what?
If you go back to your original premise, Paula, whether or not it's exhaustion, it's fatigue about Meghan Markle. This Meghan Markle story, it's been going on for, are we on the 7th year now, that this has been a thing? And it has only been in the last year, which you can kind of almost identically trace back to when they started, when the Markle family started attacking you, Paula, that the fatigue started becoming a thing. So I would say you are spot on in your theory.
I just want to say to Great Voice, Paula, certainly you feel betrayed. I'm not feel betrayed or hurt. I really don't give a fuck because they've been attacking me for years. Do you think this is new? And I've kept quiet. The only time I reacted was when they did that live and they tried to take me down for HIPAA violation and accuse me of getting medical info when actually is getting a legal certified copy of a birth certificate in California, which is perfectly legal. But they were accusing me of violating HIPAA, which YouTube takes your channel down in a blink of an eye.
That's what they wanted.
Okay, so I don't care. I really don't care. I have a thick skin, but I'm just saying. Not when it comes to my son.
Yep.
That's a step too far. You messed with the wrong person.
Right.
No, seriously, guys. They messed with the wrong person because I've been with radiation and everything in my veins and stuff like that. And I've been abused, getting harassing messages from all these people because they were angry that the live that they did to terminate my channel, lying about me, backfired on them.
Yes.
So they reported your channel?
No, no. And then the last time I did it was about the birth certificate when I woke up to with a warning from YouTube that they were going to terminate my channel because a very well-known YouTuber, a big YouTuber, had reported my channel for HIPAA violation.
Oh boy.
They play
because
games.
when that happens, guys, so you know, when you get copyright, for example, when Carl Larson, when you remember, I don't know if you were on RMB, when Carl Larson gave Taz, P. Dina, and me and other YouTubers a copyright strike from some of the pictures of his, remember?
Yes, I do. I don't remember it, but I recently did a video about Carl Larson, and I asked people about that because I wanted to know.
What happens is, guys, when somebody reports your channel as a YouTuber, you get told who it is, especially when it is about something serious, because then they give you the right to respond to this person. So this is why you get their address. And this is why, for example, Carl Larson, he wanted to get our addresses.
Because
they're allowed to get the address.
Interesting.
Yeah, they get your address. They get your address.
That's very interesting because I played the exact same clips as you all did in my recent video. And since they already had my address, I
Okay,
didn't get a
I'm just
copyright
gonna make
strike.
it easy for you, Great Voice. I'm just gonna ban you. I just don't want. If it's unproductive, I understand. You don't have to watch it. Then leave. And you don't have to leave. I'll ban you. There you go. Okay. And it is not unproductive for me to say to leave my son alone. And if people don't understand that, then that's fine. I can take any punches. I've had broken bones, broken skull, broken face, broken lips, broken ribs, broken legs by my ex-husband, 3 murder attempts. I can take it. I have put up with abuse from all these people trying to discredit me. I can take it. I'm a big girl. Come and say it to my face. But coming after my son, that's a big no.
I know what you mean, Paula, because when they came after my family talking about CPS, it's you just lose it.
Oh,
And you
thank you, case Pats. Yeah.
and you want to let them know to back off and leave my son, leave my kids alone,
They
leave them
did that
out
to
of
you. They did that to you, Leticia. Remember?
right. Yeah, the CPS. We're gonna call CPS on you.
To take your
And
little girl away with a lie.
with the lie.
Can you imagine, Heather, they did that to you?
Oh, well, good luck. If you saw the size of my 3 kids, go ahead. Dear God, like, no, you're messing with the wrong crazy person if you want to come after me. Like,
No, they met. You see, you see,
I'm not worried at
no,
all.
but the thing is that if I'm shouting, guys, it's because I'm half deaf. Remember that we were talking whether I should put the earplugs because I can't hear very well. So I'm sorry if I sound like I'm shouting. I'm not angry. It's just that I can't hear very well because the bloody earplugs, these ones don't work. Remember, we were testing it and I sound muffled, so I can't hear very well. So I'm sorry. I apologize if I'm screaming because I can't hear myself. So it's this is what people have. They have fatigue because the people in what they call themselves the Mexican community. I'm not part of your community. I am a YouTuber doing my content. I do my own research. I spend my own money. I call people and then I present you the information. I don't go on other YouTubers' channel and trash that channel or do a video. And if I ever do a video about another YouTuber, is to lift them up, to say, go watch this person. This is great what they're doing.
But those people piggyback off you to be a somebody and make money. Again, Canadian, broke as all get out. And I'll never be like getting money anywhere. So
you know
if
what
they're
bothers-
piggybacking off you, it's because they have no brains. They don't have content. They don't have chutzpah at the end of the day. Like
Why
they
have?
don't
What did
have
you
anything,
say?
and they go
No,
to
I like that
copycat
word. What
off
did you say?
you.
What did you say? They have. What, can you say that?
Chutzpah.
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 It's
A good
Yiddish.
Yiddish word. Yeah.
Yiddish. Oh, that's so cute.
It
They
means
don't
no
have
ball.
balls. Absolutely.
How do you say it? Can you pronounce it
Spunk.
again?
They
Can
have
you
no
pronounce it again?
initiative, no spunk.
Can you
Yeah,
pronounce it again? Can you pronounce it?
chutzpah.
No. Chutzpah. Okay.
Chutzpah.
Chutzpah.
Chutzpah. Okay, that is so cute. Thank you, Michelle. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to tell you something too, because this affected a friend of mine who is actually Pidina, who I love to bits. Pidina has shown herself to be a true and loyal friend. And you know, when she warned me not to align myself with other YouTubers, she was right. You know, she was right. You know, and she warned me about them. And I still wanted to give people the benefit of the doubt. But now they're going after Pidina.
They are?
Well, yeah.
Doesn't matter.
She seems to be very calm and level-headed.
Yeah. And believe it or not, I'm usually calm and level headed, but not when it comes to my kid.
Of course not. Who is?
You know,
Well,
it's like
you're really friendly and you reach out to people, Paula, and that's how I met you.
I love
And
you,
I'm
Claudia
glad
Salas.
that I got to meet you.
I think you're fearless.
No,
that's
but
just your
I don't care.
personality.
I don't care. And I'm just gonna say it. I'm just gonna say it here. You can attack me. You can attack my credibility. I stand by everything I put on my channel. And YouTube would have taken down my channel a long time because a lot of times I run it by YouTube before I post stuff. Okay. I stand by everything I post in my channel. Like it's incredible. Neil Sean, according to this incredible source, allegedly, he says like 20 times allegedly. And I like Neil Sean. I think it's great. But he doesn't. And you know what? I have actually people in my comment section saying, "Who's your source?" And do you want their phone number as well? What the fuck do you want? Do you want an address? I'm gonna be like Blake Lively. Should I send you my GPS thing and stuff? Robert Mahoney. They threatened my son. They said that the letters that they left were so horrible. How they were gonna cut him up to teach me a lesson and all kinds of things.
Who said that?
Are you for real?
We don't know because he got those friggin' letters. We know that some of them are from Florida. Some of them are from.
Well, that explains everything. If you live in Florida,
Isn't
dear
that
God,
really?
I don't care.
California,
People in
some of
Florida
them are
can't
from
find
England.
Canada. Come find
He's
me.
received
I don't
9
care.
letters so far. How they're
Dear
gonna cut him
God.
up to teach me? Maybe that'll shut me up and get me in line.
Oh my God.
Wow.
So
I'm sorry, Paul. I am sorry, Paula. Like, I'm not trying to like go against
no, but
you
my son
or
is
whatever.
worried
Like,
because
I
he
am
knows people
sorry.
can come behind your back and stab you. My son is tall, right? You've met him, but nobody is invincible.
No, but this is
Not if you have
ratcheting
a
it up
crazy
to some
maniac who comes
level.
after
It's
you
not
in the dark.
acceptable.
I don't care if your son is 6'8" or
No.
5'2". He's not involved. It should be
No.
off limits. It should be a given. It should never go there.
I am just so sick and tired of that, and today, and also because why trash Pidina? Because you can't find it in the mainstream media. And I'm going to believe Tom Markle Jr., who hasn't spoken to Meghan Markle over 20 years and who held a gun to a woman's head and who threatened ORMV. And it speaks the
Sometimes
most
they go
foulest
after your
thing.
friends.
But you can publish your own opinion about something in your own story, and they can believe you or not, and they can just move on. Why they have to make a big deal out of it, and why they have to come with guns a-blazing is really, I don't know. I don't even have the
Why do
words.
they
It
care?
just doesn't make sense.
Because they're Markles. It's the same thing that Meghan Markle does. It's the
Unless
clapback.
it's true. Unless it's
Right.
true, and then they're really panicking.
That's it.
Yeah, but
That-
this is very
sorry.
telling. This is very telling, guys. This is very telling because I published 2 videos because it happened. You're telling me that a man who's a drug addict, and you can hear the press, oh, Harry's melting down. You can clearly see this man is not well.
He's not well.
Yeah.
You're telling me that a man who's never done rehab, a man who inhaled an entire tank of laughing gas, a man who snorted vodka with cocaine, a man who has access to everything and still, you can clearly see, at least from my point of view, that this man is, and he's not doing marijuana. If you OD, you don't OD on marijuana. And there's
No, you
no
can.
way.
It's a thing. You can.
thing?
There's
You can.
THC
I don't know. I don't
and
do drugs.
stuff. Your stomach goes into weird stuff. No. And it's not like us, right? I'm 47, right? Like when we
Nervous.
like smoked Mary Jane or whatever, it came out of the ground. Now it's different. Like, and it does weirdo stuff that I don't understand. But you can OD on it.
But
You
guys,
can.
what I'm trying
Never
to
heard
say
of
is
that.
like, let me tell you something. The only reason why we're finding out a lot of shit about the royal family and everything is because of Epstein or things that have come. Do you know that they've
Rome is
sealed the
falling.
records for Andrew? Did you know that Prince Charles, we cannot know the deliberations on allowing Charles to marry Camilla in a civil ceremony and still accede the throne until after his death? Because according to Article 45 of the Marriages Act, he should have been disqualified from acceding the throne. But there were negotiations made, and I can show you. I'm actually going to show you the
Really?
articles about it.
I
have
don't
all
think
the
that
articles.
you're a liar because it should have went here in Canada. We always said Will's going to get Prince William's going to get the throne. All of us were shocked I can't speak for you, Manuela, but my family was shocked in Canada when King Chuck became King Chuck. You're like, you got to be kidding me.
Right.
We didn't see it coming at all. We always thought it was going to go to William. Always.
But
It should've.
don't you find that guy's incredible? How this little video has hit everybody. Everybody's talking about it. Meghan Small, I don't buy it. People write in Substacks, which is great. They have the right to their opinion. But
But
I
don't buy
believe
it
that
and move
people
on.
are fed up with the fatigue. The fatigue that people are facing is like only they can be the oracles of the truth.
Well, and
You
it's
know, it's
all
like-
about
That's called propaganda.
You know,
How many
it's all
people
about
buy?
like it's all
Sorry, go
about
ahead.
like I don't know what to say, right? Everyone knows where their bread is buttered and they know how to work a room, right? You got to work a room at an end of the day. And if you want to say your truth, Paula, you go to town. I'm going to say my truth. I'm going to go to town. All of
I
us
love your
have
videos,
our
by the
right
way.
to our opinion.
Heather, what
Right?
is your YouTube channel, Heather?
Heather from the hood. Yeah, I'm the white girl from the hood. I
Right.
know. I get it all the
I
time.
follow you on TikTok. I haven't followed you on.
No,
didn't know you-
I do have a YouTube. I'm trying to be a person,
Okay.
and I do have a TikTok.
Oh, here you go. You have a dog. You have your dog there. Oh, my
Yes, the
God.
Queen Elizabeth, the corgi.
She's a corgi. Okay, look at Heather, guys. It's right here. Go to her
Thank
channel.
you, Paula.
You
And
only
thank
have
you
12
for
subscribers?
understanding because we've gone back and forth. So you can't,
sorry.
I will say this till the end of time. You can take in criticism, mean you can go back and forth even though we don't agree. I think that's a great discussion at the
Yeah.
end of the day. So I
Yeah.
think you're a great host. Thank you.
No, please. And I love your opinions. You know what? I wish people would disagree with more. I don't have a problem having a healthy debate. You know, I don't have a problem with that. If you disagree, yeah, tell me why you disagree. But we do it in a very intelligent way, rather than saying you get your medical facts wrong. No, I don't. That's medical malpractice to send a woman. This is Heather's channel. Go subscribe to her. She only has 12
Thank you.
subscribers.
Thank
we
you.
we can do better than that, guys. Let me see if I have some of you who have. Oh, you have 14. Come on, we can get.
Oh,
it.
14. Yay, me. Yay.
I'll go and subscribe too.
Thank you so much. Oh,
Everybody
Paula,
should
thank
subscribe.
you.
Yeah, we're gonna keep
Thank
you there
you.
then for now. So for me, that's the fatigue that people are experiencing. I can go to X right now and I will show you how many people have trashed me because they say that it's me who brainwashed Pidina and that I am feeding false information to Pidina. Because they want to blame me, you know, because Pidina can't have a thought of her own because she's not a strong woman.
Yeah, but you have to remember that most of those are the same person with their same stock account, so it doesn't mean much.
No, these are YouTubers who I thought were my friends. And that's fine. You can be my friend and disagree with me 100%. But go and trash my channel. Fine. You want to do it? Fuck you. Do it. I could do it too, but I'm not going to do it. But with my kid, no. Ahí, hasta ahí llegó esta mierda, se acaba esta mierda. Hasta ahí, that's where it ends. With my kid. And I'm coming after you. I am coming for everybody who has the letters that they sent to my kid were horrible. And the fact that they found his address is very concerning to me, guys.
That's scary. That would scare me too.
Hey, Claudia, thank you. Thank you, Claudia.
Oh, thank you, Claudia. Thank you.
Yes, Claudia's amazing. Claudia's amazing. And I debated about doing this live for members only. But there's a saying in Spanish, I don't know how it applies in English, but I don't throw a stone and hide the hand. I face people.
Oh, no. I hit you in the face and you know that it's me, right? Like that's.
You know, so I'm calling people out. I'm not saying, please do not unsubscribe from these people, that you have a right to have their opinion. I'm not saying that they're the ones who sent the letters to my son because I don't know who did.
Well, it's just a bunch of. I can't say it on here. Like it's just
Yes,
a bunch of.
You can say.
No, I can't. I can't. You don't know me that well. I can't. But it's a bunch of keyboard warriors. That's the nicest word I can use.
No, they're not keyboard warriors. I wish they would keep it on the keyboard. Do you
They're
know
gonna
what
find
it is
you.
like? Do you know what it is like that when I have a guest on, they immediately send them emails or contact them to trash me?
Oh, I hope I get emails. I love being trolled. I troll myself on a good day. Like I have nothing other better to do in my life. Freaking troll me away. Go ahead.
I'm
hoping this
and I
works.
don't understand it. Like that's fine. The whole point of this is I don't care if they hate me. But I don't believe that people have Meghan Markle and Prince Harry fatigue. What people are tired of is this bullshit that as soon as P. Dinah and I posted, well, mostly P. Dinah, because I posted videos about this before, guys. Okay? And nobody cared. But when P. Dinah posted it, and the problem was that I posted my first, and then P. Dinah did. And again, the only reason why P. Dinah posted it later is because she went to church. So,
She
and
went to
she
church.
told me
No
that-
good deed goes unpunished.
So, like, like, so I did mine, and then she told me, she gave me the inside story, and then I found out some more information. Because the Cottage Hospital, they're pissed off. The Cottage Hospital last year, no, 2023. So, guys, in 2023, the Cottage Hospital, they got sanctioned for violating 49 hospital rules. So they were not allowed
Wow.
to accept new patients in the ICU until they comply with that. They've been sued 4 or 5 times. The last time was for $8 million and they lost.
Wow.
Wow.
Meghan Markle's alleged doctor who delivered Lily, the reason why she quit the practice is because apparently she was medically responsible for the death of 2 children.
Yeah.
And she's working, I don't know where. So in my channel, I will never tell you to unsubscribe to anybody because that is not right. We're all grown-ups in this space. People are fed up of people doing this. And the reason why I'm talking about these people now, because if you go to my channel, you will see that I never do that. The 2 or 3 times this is the 3rd time I've had to do it, and I've had my channel for 4 or 5 years. Touch my son, you cross, and I know people. The problem is that I know people. They don't know. Guys, do you understand that I took on 3 governments and I beat them all legally? Do you understand that?
Oh, I understand it. I'm from the hood. I'm speaking what you're talking. Like, okay. I'm good. I'm picking up what you're putting down. I'm all right.
I've been come out with a machete from my ex-husband. Okay, I've been pulled in my farm because there was sugarcane in the farm, and the sugarcane grows really tall. And I used to
you
walk
beat
in the
someone
morning.
with a sugarcane? That's gonna hurt.
No. They pulled me into the sugarcane fields, and the only thing that saved me was because the ground was wet, and the guy was wearing these rubber boots, so the mud. Everybody's like,
"Oh, you sunk down."
Got sucked in.
No, not only that. My employees, the people who work for me, they used to, rather than go around the road, they used to cut across the field, and they heard me scream, so they started screaming. So the guy left, but he managed to beat me up and stuff like that. So do you
Paula,
think
we're going down a rabbit hole. I don't like this.
Guys, I'm telling you this, but do you think I care about this stupid YouTubers trash me? But you went too far with my son, and you're messing with P. Dinah's reputation. Who's a friend, and I stick up for my friends. And
that's what they hate the most.
And the fact I don't stick up for people anymore who are not my friends. I will only stick up for.
Oh, I hope it's me. Stick up for me.
Anybody from Canada.
Yeah, for you, Manuela, have been great. Thank you. Tina is a true friend.
Yeah,
Tina Victoria is a true friend.
Yeah.
Victoria is an amazing friend. Tina is an amazing friend. P. Dinah is gold. Because these are the kind of friends.
That's part of it too.
These are the kind of friends that they say to me, Paula, I received these text messages, and this is what's happening behind your back. rather than, oh, I heard that somebody's talking about you. No, I hate that. That in Spanish is called es como ser es como ser bitchy, like backstabbing. It's like innuendos, gossipy. It's like,
Smile at your face and stab your back.
yeah,
Right.
Oh, but
Yeah.
we love to
Two-Face.
No,
have
I
Paula
get
in our
you.
channel. Paula is always welcome in our channel. Bullshit. I already told you that I'm never going on a platform where these people are at, because I know what they've done and said about me. And because I don't know, I'm not saying they are for legal reasons involved about what my son is getting. But the things that my son got are very similar to the things I've been getting.
It's crazy.
Okay.
And the other thing too, Paula, though, the
Huh?
other thing too is they want you isolated. That's
Yes,
a
exactly.
big part of their game plan. They want to isolate you so that you don't have resources and you don't have support groups, because the more isolated you are, the easier you are to eliminate.
No, but the thing is that they get angry that I get people coming on my channel.
I know.
That Winning Communication, I brought him on, and he's an amazing guy. And then what's her name, Jen from Real Housewives, or whatever the hell her name is now. I know what you did.
Wait, I have a question. What housewives? Because I watch them all.
No. I don't
There's
know
a
if
lot
she's
of
changed her
Jen.
No,
channel. I don't care.
That's the name of her channel. The name of her channel is Jen from Real Housewives. She
Like
changed
from
it now.
Jersey?
She's RHR Jen, but she was originally Real Housewives recaps. So she's not on.
I thought you
She's
meant
not
like
on.
a person from Housewives.
You know that Winning
No,
Communication,
no.
Mr. Wynn
sorry.
sent me a WhatsApp
Sorry.
because he was embarrassed when she first had him, and he said, I gave you a shout out, but for some reason she removed it because it's thanks to you that I got, through these people. And I said, don't worry about it. He's a gentleman. He's his great friend, George the Giant Slayer. He's an amazing friend. And Manuela, you have to get going with what we talk about. I'm still on it.
I'm working on it. I'm
No.
moving forward with it.
Yeah. So, but you know what I mean? People have fatigued of these. Why? Because then you confuse the subscribers.
Yep.
Let the subscribers decide who they want to believe or not. But why trust another person? Go do lives about other people and trust them. It's like they don't want you to think for yourselves. If I have information and I present it to you, like go check it out and you make up your own mind. I do that. That, for example, that I've been watching the Iran and Israel situation, and my heart goes out to everybody involved in this. Everybody, because people, when people think of, for example, Iran, they think of the government. I'm not thinking of the governments. I'm thinking of the people trapped in the countries that are dying.
That's right.
I'm not thinking of Trump or Netanyahu or whoever the fuck is in charge of Iran. I'm thinking of the civilians on the ground who don't have any resources and are exposed and are dying.
Nowhere to go.
I'm thinking of the children that are dying. I don't think government, because I've seen some comments here. So, you're wishing that Israeli people. No, I'm saying that there are innocents in all sides that are dying. Children, women, pregnant women, elderly. Your sons, young sons, somebody's sons, and they're not choosing to be in this war.
I think the three of us, I'm not trying to exclude the other two, but Paula, me, Manuela, I'm Polish Russian Jew. I've seen this story. I know this story, right? And your family, Manuela, Paula, your family, unless you've lived.
I've lived through wars. That's the problem. I lived through wars.
Right? And your family
my
lived
husband's family's Iranian. Right now, there's people there in Iran who are stranded. The banks are closed. The phones are closed. There's no food. They're locked in. We have German shepherds, and you're not allowed to have dogs in Muslim countries that are on the compound. They're probably going to starve. They have Afghanis who are working in the house.
That is a shame.
Who have to get kicked out now, just like how they try and deport Mexicans.
It is
It's
1942.
You have
all
educated people.
And,
you have
and I'm not trying to make this political. I'm not. But unless you've seen this story before, you know how it's going to end.
God,
Like,
no one should go without eating. No one should
Right.
be without food and water.
Governments
Like,
fight each other, and the civilians pay the price, and that's just overall. It's always
they cut off
governments
the
that are fighting.
oil to Canada. Did you
Pardon?
see that? They cut off the mainstream of oil, not just to Canada, to the USA. So if you don't like your gas prices, sorry for your luck. It's not going to go well. I have used this knowledge, and I don't like talking political. I don't.
I do. I like politics, you know, but for me, it's the problem is that I'm not even thinking of the governments. I'm not even thinking of the politics. I'm thinking, for example,
I just think of
Manuela,
the people.
your husband's family are not political. They're just trapped in Iran. They
They're
just
not
happen to be
political.
from Iran. There's a lot of Jewish people in Israel because the government has forbidden the people of Israel to leave except the tourists. I think even Bruce Jenner. Oh, no, what's her name now? Bruce Jenner.
Caitlyn?
Caitlyn Jenner.
Caitlyn Jenner. Yeah, Caitlyn. Sorry, I always say Bruce. Yeah. Sorry, Kate. Sorry, whatever. You know who I mean. Apparently, he was in Israel, but he was trapped and he couldn't leave, or she could. I'm sorry,
Why
I'm gonna
was
say he.
she in Israel? That was a dumb place to go. I'm just saying. That was not like the smartest place to go at all. Why
No, because
would
they
you
didn't
go
think
there?
this was going to happen. But the point is that we have to think that there's children, there's families in all of these countries that have not asked for this, and they can't leave.
it's horrible.
They don't even know what's going on. They just know that they're scared. People are scared. It's not fair. I mean, we don't,
It's
and
not.
we even don't have the right information. We only get little. No one knows really what's going on.
And this is why I said to you at the beginning, we should pray for those people. Let's forget politics, guys. Imagine if, I don't know in which country you are, and suddenly the United Kingdom goes into war and your country starts being bombarded, and your children, and you have a mother, and you have there, and you have no choice in the matter because your government went to war, and your
It's
people
horrible.
are dying.
Here's at the end of the day,
Got two people fighting.
everybody has a story, right? Whether it's from America back in the days, I'm not going to say the word, and us in World War II, World War I, blah, blah. Everyone has a story. It's not wrong at the end of the day. Humans are humans, and everyone deserves love and peace. And
Especially, yeah.
I'm not smart enough to talk about politics. I'm not. But there's always three sides to every story. Yours, mine, truth.
And the truth. Yeah. And we always have biases. I've lived through wars, and because of my working in government background, I've been privy to a lot of things. Guys, I covered up so much shit that you guys have. Okay, I'm going to give you a little tale before, because this is funny. When I tell you that the mainstream media doesn't tell the truth? We were talking about Mette Marit's son, the stepson of the Crown Prince of Norway, Marius. This piece of shit had been doing nasty stuff. And if you go and watch one of my videos, I said in one of my videos talking about the Norwegian royal family, because I lived in Norway. I'm a Norwegian citizen as well. I was like, when I found out the address of the girl he beat up, because it's Frogner is a very, very, is the poshest. I mean, Norway's wide, but it's the widest, poshest neighborhood in Norway. It's Frogner. And it's not new money, it's old money. So when I found out, when I read in the news, because it made the news, and the reason it made the news is because of the girl that he beat up. Because the girl, and I said, this is now being exposed because he messed with the wrong girl. He messed with like a girl that's part of, aristocracy or whatever, or the group, or very wealthy people. Because then after this happened, a lot of things started to come out. And did you know that his friends were filming the Norwegian, the Crown Prince of Norway? They live in a city called Asker, and they have their private residence there, where Marius, who is the first son of Mette Marit from another man, who, by the way, is a drug lord in Norway and is the worst kind of possible guy. And he was living there, right? They were filming inside with his buddies who are gang members. Okay. And they were that's a security breach. They stole the credit card for a gas company and they used it for a year. And the royal family, nobody knew about it. So they were using taxpayers' money because the credit cards that they get is for them to fill up the tank for the gas for the royal family, you know? Well, his buddies were using it and the police knew about it. Metamarid, when the police warned them that they were coming to get a burner phone chip that he had. So what did Metamarid do? She ran because he has like a guest house. She ran to get the chip and break it.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to read up on the Norwegian royal family. They sound fun.
Metamarid was an Epstein girl, so you know.
Oh, wow.
And Epstein, before Epstein was arrested, he had been to Asker, the private residence of the Crown Prince of Norway, visiting. And then Metamarid, when what Metamarid was a party girl for Epstein. She was kicked out of India. She's accused of trafficking in India. She was kicked out of Australia. You know, this is the woman who married into the Norwegian royal family. Okay. Wow. And then, yeah, wow. And then what happened is like, they know about it and they cover up. Her brother,
downhill. Everyone say it together.
Her father is married to a stripper. Her father is married to a stripper. Her half brother beat the living hell out of his Russian girlfriend and nobody knew about it because the police hushed it and because she was a Russian immigrant.
Well, she was Russian, so like Leo.
She was an immigrant, you know, so she was an immigrant. So, but when I tell you that they cover stuff up, Metamarid, when Epstein was arrested in 2019, she issued a public apology saying, "Oh my God, she tried to step in front of the news and she said, oh my God, I am so sorry for my friendship with Mr. Epstein. I was aware that he was a PDO, but I didn't know he was that much of a PDO." And I'm like, I didn't know that there were levels of it that are acceptable.
Yes. But you knew?
She was friends with him since 2008. He'd been flying her everywhere.
But she didn't know how bad it was. That's a good one.
It's called Blind Eye.
Oh yeah, Ginger gets read up on Metamarid. The stepfather, the father of Marius Höjby. Read up on him.
All right. Well, I'm sorry. I have to say my goodbyes.
What I wanted to tell you with this guys, but Heather, you have to come back because I love you.
I think we're going to talk to Victoria tomorrow.
I'm talking to Victoria tomorrow.
So am I. We're mishtuka now. We're like connected. Oh, you can't get rid of me. I'm like glitter. Oh my God. It's so much fun. So thank you, everybody. I'm so sorry I got to go.
No.
Me too.
Me too.
All of you. Thank you very much. I am appreciative.
Stewardess, you know what? There's nothing you can do because I don't know who they are. I already called the police. My son went to the police. There's nothing they can do because there was no return address. We know that some of the letters came from Florida. Some of the letters came from Canada. Some of the letters came from the UK. And we know because of the stamps. I didn't know that. This is something new that I learned because apparently when they stamp, we know when you get a stamp and they put a seal, there has like a number or something, so they know more or less the area.
They know exactly where it's done from. They know the office it was received in. So it's usually depending on the route. So they'll know exactly. That's how they start tracing it.
Yeah, but because it's not in Canada, you know, they don't have the resources and they're just letters. They just told my son, just keep your eye, just watch your back, basically, you know.
Crazy.
Which was funny. I mean, what can they say? I mean, it's just letters, you know. But what I wanted to say that the fatigue is not about Meghan Markle. The fatigue is about all this infighting, about other YouTubers not minding their own business, not doing their own content.
It's tiring, of course. It's tiring to everybody.
Like fighting is everywhere.
Productive. It's not fun. It's not productive. And you got other things to talk about. You can't just talk about
they can't talk about their own content. They can do their own
They don't
stuff.
have any. That's why. Because they don't have content. This is their content.
You know, and it's like, do they really think that Harry is not doing drugs and really hard drugs?
They don't care. All they care about?
Well, the king is not helping Harry financially. The king still has Fergie living at the Royal Lodge.
Of course, the king is helping Harry financially. He'll never run out of money.
I think he's paying the bodyguard. That's for sure. I think that bodyguard was giving a Medal of Honor, and he's loyal to the royal family, which is why we saw Harry
Absolutely.
wandering the streets of London aimlessly, because they do escape sometimes. They do escape it. So this is why Harry was aimlessly wandering, because he's always driven everywhere. And usually,
Yep.
what happens, so the bodyguards would come and knock on the door, secure the perimeter, so the door is open, so their principal comes in and out quickly because it's safer.
Right. But he's not worried about where he is. This is all BS.
So
doing
the
what he
reason
gotta
They
do.
know where he
that's
is.
why, because people, and I don't have actual proof, but it makes sense that this guy leaves his career of 20 some years, gets a Victorian Medal of Honor, and goes with Harry.
Circumstantial evidence is still evidence.
No, but I mean, how stupid do we have to be?
Yeah.
And that
No, I know.
Harry,
Yeah.
and that, TMZ, which is the paragon of truth,
Oh,
is
please.
going to report on that when the governor of California, because if they report on this, there has to be an investigation that this man's still doing drugs in the United States. And I repeat, and any of you can go check it. Ask any lawyer, immigration lawyer. Non-U.S. citizens cannot do any drugs in the United States, even if it's legal in the state they live, because they're not U.S. citizens.
Right.
Period. And
Yeah,
that's
they're a
the law
guest.
federally.
They're a guest. When you're a guest, you're not supposed to behave like that.
Yep.
And sorry if I sound like I'm shouting, but I can't hear myself because I'm not wearing the earphones. So I'm not angry. It's just that I'm deaf. There's a difference. And I want to say something to you guys, because I finished yesterday. I had cancer in my esophagus, and I found a little tumor in some cells, and I did radiation last year or this year. And then it came back again, but then I had it, and I finished mine last one yesterday.
Congratulations.
Oh, thank goodness. I'm glad you
Yes.
finished it. I'm glad you finished.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm glad because my doctors, when I finished the first round, they said, "Oh, you can come back in 3 months to check up." And I don't know about anybody who has had cancer other than but for me the fear stayed. I don't know if it makes any sense to you. So
Absolutely.
instead of going on the 3-month visit that they told me to come back, I was going every 2 weeks. I was driving them crazy. No, I'm seriously, because
Of course.
they
You
told me
wanna
that I was
know.
clean and everything. They told me I was clean and everything, and then I was like, but I still, what I told the doctors now, if you're gonna give me, if you said that I'm gonna get 10, I want you to give me 40. I don't care if I lose
Yeah.
my hair. I don't care about shaving my fucking head. Big deal. It's only hair.
Yeah.
It'll grow.
Right.
Yep.
But
Yep.
but they did the test, and I have to go back in a couple of weeks. Then they're gonna do blood tests to see if I'm clean. But I still keep going every 2 weeks.
Good for you. Do what makes you feel. Makes you feel better. Makes you stronger. It's
No,
your
no, but
body.
it's that insistence of me going every 2 weeks that they found
Yes.
a few
Good for
cells,
you.
And the doctor, and I looked at the doctor, and guys, I had this crush on the doctor, and he turned out to be gay. So I used to doll up. I did a live with Ron, and I was all dressed up, in Sean Atwood's channel. By the way, guys, we're gonna do the Royal Mass on Thursday. Don't miss it.
Thursday. Yeah.
So, and tomorrow
Will
I'm gonna be
not
at
miss it.
Victoria's channel. And also, guys, you asked me about my skin. Is thanks to Manuela and Isomer Scare.
Thank
Isomer
you,
Skin.
Paula.
No, I'm serious. I want to show you this because you guys asked me for it, Manuela, and I can't wait to go to Canada hopefully soon because I'm running out of the Botox thing.
Well, we'll see you soon in Toronto.
Yeah, because
We'll do a live together here. We'll be actually sitting next to each other.
yeah. This is Manuela's thing, and the one that I'm absolute. Well, I thank you for my jowls, because if you are if you have been a member, or if you're following me, you know that I was looking for a plastic surgeon, to do my jowls, because and the reason why I bought this big mic is because I was hiding my neck, right?
That's funny.
And I was like, in January, I was desperate because at certain age it just falls, And thank you to your products. I said to you, you can put it. I am not that vain because I am so grateful. You have set back at least a year of me trying to look for a free plastic surgeon for a surgeon. So if anybody knows of a plastic surgeon who wants to give me a a good plastic surgery for my jowls, and we'll do promo. Go for it, Oh, my neck exercise is awesome, but I just want to say thank you, and
Thank
I
you.
want to say, guys, don't unsubscribe from anybody.
No.
That is
No.
not the point of this. Don't. My
No,
point is,
I agree.
don't go to this channel. Don't, please keep watching these channels. You have to. Well, you don't have to. You can do whatever you want. But I'm saying that is not the message I'm telling you. The message of all of this is that people are fatigued of this infighting. This is my opinion. I mean, what do you think, Leticia and ORMD?
I agree with you 100%. And I also agree. You don't unfollow them. Listen to
I
them.
agree.
And then make your own decisions. Do your own
Exactly.
research and form your own conclusions.
It really speaks volumes to you, Paula, that you would continue to say that and say, go watch whoever you want to watch. Because I know a lot of content creators try to control their base and tell
Yep.
them where they can and cannot go. You can't go over here and watch that person. If you do, then I'm going to kick you out of my platform. It's
And they block you.
thing. And they'll block you. Yeah.
I just want to say something. Maria, it was just a misunderstanding. Sean and Ron are fine.
Someone told me a long time ago, relationships go like this, right? Sometimes they're far apart, then they come together. People need to breathe sometimes, but then they come together. And I think people just need to, with time, things sort themselves out. Just don't act irrationally.
Some people are emotional because Ron,
yeah.
Ron looks tough, but Ron is a teddy bear. He's emotional. I gotta tell you something about Ron. And I feel like crying when I talk about it, because in Pidina, when this happened to me, she said, "How can I help you?" And I mean, she put her mouth where where her mouth was, and the same thing with Ron, because it was pretty bad. And Pidina, I mean, she's a lady in every sense of the word, and she's a true friend. And the same for Ron. He put himself out there for me, and I cannot say, in a situation that who are your friends, and you like Manuela, without knowing me much, I was desperate about my son because I am here in Nicaragua and the banks were closed and I couldn't get money to my son, and you gave it to him, and I'm thankful for that, and I paid it back. Don't worry. But
don't worry. And this is, life happens. We have to be there for each other. I believe there's two kinds of people. At the end of the day, I think we all boil down to we're either one of two kinds of people. We're either builders or destroyers. You either work with the people and build them up, or you crush people because you want to be on top. And in all the years I've been around, there's only those kind of people who enjoy others or people who will need to conquer. And I hope that we gather a bunch of people who are builders, and we build nice communities, we build nice relationships. We don't need to destroy people to lift ourselves up.
No, you don't.
I think that's very well said. I like how you said that.
Yeah.
And I think we should close it with, I want people, listen, this is not about politics. I swear to you guys, this is not about politics. But put yourself, you've been in a country, whether you're in Iran or Israel or whatever it is that you are, and you're a civilian, and you don't have a say about the war, and you're getting bombed and stuff like that. We have to think that there are children in both of these countries, okay? That they're mothers, that they're grandparents who are scared, who can't get out. It's okay for you to not like a political party, but it's okay. But the people is the people, and you're going to say, well, they chose the people. Sometimes they don't have a choice.
You don't have a choice. You don't choose where you're born. You don't choose that. And people, that's their home.
Look at that. Church. My 9-year-old told me the other day that, Mom, I think you're next. I'm going to tell you something, guys, that I'm not proud of, but I did with Henrik. Because Henrik was such a blabbermouth, like I remember when we were in Paris, and I like escargot, right? And Henrik found out what they were, and he goes, you eat snails. So he was telling everybody everything. You know how kids are when 3 or 4, they tell everything. And so I lied to my son. I told him that I was 35 when I was 39. No, because he was going around telling people my age and stuff like that, right? So I was in Belgium when I turned 40. I was posted in Belgium when I turned 40, right? And I'll never forget his face when he found out that I was 40. He felt so betrayed. It's like,
That's
you
funny.
lied to me. And I said, Henrik, you would have gone around telling my age, And Henrik's like, but it was so a girl's got to do what a girl's got to do.
Absolutely.
That's right.
That's not really. That's just a shift. That's just a shift. That's not a lie. It's just a little massage. It's a shift.
Yeah, no. But I want to thank you, Recollections, my very, because I know we don't know each other very well, but I appreciate your support. And people,
Absolutely.
there is no Meghan Markle nor Prince Harry fatigue. People are fed up of all this infighting, of YouTubers turning on each other, trying to discredit others. Either you're in my group. What the fuck are we, high school? I mean, I'm 56 years of age. And that's what I believe the fatigue is. It's like me going, I'm gonna do a live criticizing Letitia. I don't even criticize the Sussex squad.
Yeah, we have better things to
There's
do.
an exception. There's one. I remember there's this black squatty who posted about being happy that the queen had died, and then she said, "Do you remember that? Did you guys?
That's gross.
We know her.
You know her.
We know
That
her.
she did that. That's the only time because I was shocked that YouTube didn't take that down because she said, "I'm glad that that bitch is dead, and I wish all of them would remember that."
That's nasty.
That is disgusting.
And this is like this colonialist. Then why are you calling Meghan the Duchess of Sussex? Why are you using the royal title? It's like
exactly.
I was like, shut up. I was like, so I did out her because I reported her channel to YouTube. And then she found out my address because when you report, when you're a YouTuber and you report another YouTuber, they give you the address.
Yeah, that sucks.
I didn't know that.
That's the funniest. That's the funniest thing.
Carl Larson, because you see, we fought it, right? So when you fight it, he has a right. He has 10 days to sue you, and he has to sue you in the country of origin. And we knew he didn't have the money. So after 10 days of him not doing anything, but they give him your address. Because when it's something like that, they give him your address in order.
They should know, should they? They should not be given, because that's what happened to that YouTuber in Las Vegas. He got his address and went and shot his wife and his and the guy that was on YouTube.
That's ridiculous.
It was horrible.
Yeah, I mean, guys,
That's
this
so
is serious.
dangerous.
No, it was he shot him live. It's true. This is why I'm worried about my kid, because these letters, that means that they know his address.
Well, the funny thing to me, by them doxing me and putting my address out on YouTube, the funniest thing is, well, that takes away any fear I have of doing these strikes and doing these privacy complaints, because my fear was always to give them my information. Well, I don't have anything to be afraid of anymore. They actually took away their own shield.
No, but this is why I'm going to Canada soon, guys. So because I have to, well, I was going to go anyways, but now I really have to go.
Yeah.
You know? And then because that's terrible about my kid,
That's
It is,
horrible.
it's awful.
That's not right. That's very, very wrong.
So let's end this today, guys, with saying a prayer for
Children are
everybody.
off limits.
Saying a prayer for everybody who is caught in this. Please, guys, remember, we're all human beings. And my heart bleeds because I've been through wars, and I've been and trust me, I've had friends who've died. My friends were drafted against their will, and the stories that they told me, because some of them, they were supposed to be 17 years of age, but if they measure you and you weigh a certain amount, even if you were 13, they would send you to the jungle. And my friends would say that they were sent, they would just give them a rifle and send them, and they would cry because they were kids, they were not trained and they had no choice. And I've lost friends to that. And I have huge respect for our veterans, for our army, for everybody, and please, guys, remember that you don't have to like the Iranian government or the Israeli government to feel for the people who don't have a choice and are stuck in those countries. Just put yourself in their situation. You have the freedom to leave. These people can't leave and they're stuck there. And they're
on both sides. On both sides. My husband's best friend. He's one. You know, they're both from Iran, but one's Muslim, one's Jewish. They get along with each other. It's the governments. It's not what you think. And this is
Yeah,
what's the sad part. You know.
yeah, yeah. They want to create division. So I don't think there's Meghan Markle fatigue. I'm gonna keep talking about them. So if
We have
you're
lots to
fatigued,
learn.
there's a lot to learn because they're like that. And I'm gonna talk about other stuff too. But that's what my take wanted to be. That I don't believe that there's a Meghan Markle fatigue. What people are fed up of is all these YouTubers coming and say, "Oh, this is lying. This is bullshit. Oh, this is fine. You have your opinion, but you can do your own content." I don't do videos about anybody. I don't even have time. RMB, you were talking to me about these YouTubers, and I was asking, who the hell
Yep.
are they?
You had no idea.
I have no idea.
Yep.
I just
And
found
they're
out
the
about that
ones,
sweet
and
man.
they're the
I
ones
just found out
doing
about
it.
that sweet boy that his mother had to stand next to him. And she's beautiful. That woman must have given birth to him very young.
Oh yes, yes,
What's
yes.
his name? What's his name?
And she's also Foxy, and she's
Foxy.
also a scientist. I mean,
And
his
she's a
mother.
scientist. And then
Yes.
she had to sit there
Yep.
because he seems like a sweet boy, and he was
He is.
trolled by people from the Mexican community.
Yep. No, he wasn't just it's not even that he was trolled. It was a creator was telling him what to do and who to accept and who to allow and who to block on his channel, and he was being harassed for whether or not he followed those rules that were handed down to him.
Don't they call that bullying?
Yes,
Yeah.
they did. And that's exactly what they did, and that's exactly why there's a
The
group of
mother
people
came
that are
out.
getting attacked.
Yeah.
They're getting attacked because they said he's being bullied. Trevor is bullying him. And when Trevor then came back and said, no one's being bullied. That's when Naomi came out, his mother, Naomi, came out and said, listen, I'm an adult. I'm not involved in this. This is my son. I'm telling you exactly what happened. And she had the receipts and she had the
And
emails
she's
and
a
she had
mother
the
bear. She's a
evidence.
mother bear.
Yep. And she had the evidence and she came forward and said, listen, I'm not going to lie about my own son. I'm not going to lie about this. I have no stake in the game other than
And
protecting
I
my
didn't
son.
even know about this. You know that I didn't even know about this? It's just that somebody sent me. I don't know if it was you or somebody who sent me a video that this was going on. And it's like, who is this? I
I
really
think it was
don't
me.
watch
I think it was
anybody.
me.
I don't watch anybody, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, I watch Pidina. I watch because right now I'm watching. I'm really, really stuck in watching You, this series You. Oh, that's good. And then like when I have free time because I'm a farmer, I have my shelter that I run and I'm getting ready to leave and all kinds of things. And I haven't slept since I found out about my son thing.
Right.
That's so sad.
Right.
Especially
The
you're
night
right, Letitia,
Well,
about that guy who was shot
if you need me to
live.
do anything, let me know. But we'll talk offline. But if you need me to do anything, let me know. Okay.
Thank you, sweetie. Yeah,
the
thank
night
you.
that I got doxxed, I didn't sleep at all that night either.
It's terrible.
That was last week. I went 36 hours without sleep because it's scary. And let me tell you, I really don't, or I would hope that I'm not in any danger, but it's the vulnerability of it and the desire that that someone has that desire to hurt you that badly.
Right.
No, the problem, I'll tell you what it is though too.
It's evil.
Because I'm not with Henrik. Because if I were with him in
Well,
Canada,
that's true too.
for some reason I would feel that I can protect him. But the
Right.
fact that he's not with me, I feel that I brought something on him that he didn't ask for.
Yeah.
You know what
But
I mean?
they threaten my son too, and my son and I are estranged, which is how I got into Megxit. That's a whole other
Yeah.
story. But
No,
they
you
know
should
about
blame
that.
yourself.
They know about that, and that's something that they threaten him too. And I can't even contact him and make sure that he's safe or make sure that he's even aware of it.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I want to thank the mods and please people tonight when you go to bed, let's pray for all the innocent people on both sides. Just put yourself if you were in that situation. Let's pray for everybody and let's hope that
we can do better.
We can do better.
We can
really
do better
can
as people. We can do better, Thank you so much. I'm going to go because Tuxedo here
No, me
is
too. Me too. I have
implying
to go in
me.
Let's go too.
But
Yeah.
I'll see you guys tomorrow, and I'm gonna post that video tomorrow. Oh, and my video with the Duchess, Meghan the Duchess.
That's
I
funny.
was gonna post it. You guys watch it. It's funny, right? But I'm
It's
gonna
funny.
post it because we're gonna edit it some more because she wasn't happy with it because she's a Duchess after all. And I'll post it hopefully the day after tomorrow. But watch for my video tomorrow, and please I'll leave the links of all these beautiful ladies so you can go subscribe to them. Okay? And have
All
a
right.
wonderful
Thank
day,
you.
guys.
Thank you, Paula.
guys.
Thank you,
Thank you, guys.
mods. Thank you,
Thank
chat.
Bye.
you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, ladies.